in Southern California. What's going on? This is hour one of John and Jim. We're going to be joined in 30 minutes by Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, who is in the Big Apple. He'll join us from New York. Padres off days. They get set for this stretch run that Jim just talked about there during the update. Will Brinson back in the show. CBS Sports
breaking news.
Senior NFL writer. He'll join us each and every Monday during the NFL season. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Will Brinson will join us coming up at 4:30. I wanted to mention something. I wanted to start with what you just said. The good news is they take 3 out of 4 against the Rockies, and it was honestly hard to ask for more than that. How many times do we say it's hard to sweep a 4-game series against anyone? I think you take 3 out of 4. But the takeaway for me is that on the homestand, we said they needed to go 5-2. And they went 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
And this like on the margin misses that the Padres have had here in the second half of the year, like the second half shield hasn't been the same as last year.
Yeah.
And you go 4-3, not 5-2. And now you're still, 4 games behind, Cubs in the loss column and 4 games out of first place, essentially in the NL West because the Dodgers have the tiebreaker. It's like these little margins. Like I would feel a lot better if they were like a game closer or 2 games closer. But because of where they are, I'm almost like resignated to the fact that they're just locked into the 5 seed. Yeah, they take 3 out of 4. We'll talk all about it. And they scored runs over the weekend. But are we just heading down a path where no matter what they do, these final 12 games, they're going to Wrigley Field to take on the Cubs because they just didn't take advantage of opportunities over the final couple of weeks. And now they're just resigned to the 5 seed in the postseason?
It kind of feels that way, right?
It does feel that way.
Like they played well on Saturday night and yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
But that Friday night loss kind of just leaves a bad taste in your mouth because they were awful. And then losing 2 or 3 to the Reds, a 4-3 homestand.
You need to do better than that.
You need to do better than that. And look, they started to play better baseball the last couple days. I will say, though, it's hard not to look at the last 2 days and be like, it was the Rockies. They're still a professional Major League Baseball team. I understand that. But we all know the Rockies aren't really a professional Major League Baseball team. They're a AAA team at best. A couple nice players on it.
Moniak's terrific.
He was fantastic the other day. A couple nice hitters in their lineup. But other than that, it's like, you did what you needed to do. And honestly, you still kind of feel like not fulfilled because you only took 3 of 4. And the goal was to take advantage whenever you could. And if they won on Friday night, the Dodgers lost on Friday night to the Giants. Now it's a 1.5 instead of 2.5.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's the one game to me. Like I'd have a lot more hope if they were 1 game closer, realizing they'd still be on the outside looking in. You know what this reminds me of is last weekend. They go to Coors Field. They scored 1 million runs Saturday and Sunday, but then they came home and lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds.
Right.
So like the work you're doing against the Rockies, is that the team that you are, or is that the Rockies? They're 10-3 against the Rockies this year. They've outscored the Rockies by 52 runs. Against everyone else, they're 7 games over 500 for the season, and they've outscored everyone else in those 137 games by 11 combined runs. So, like, are the Padres capable of doing it against good teams, specifically on the road? How many times have we had that conversation? Yeah. And now you go to Citi Field. I know they've been terrible here recently, but can you show us what you just showed us this past weekend against a quote-unquote good team where this actually matters what you did Saturday and Sunday?
So we are 100% burying the lead.
I owe you sushi?
Well,
or sushi?
You owe me sushi, not soshi. Because Manny Machado took an off day yesterday. For the first time all year. He's played third base for like the last 2 months straight.
Well, I just wanted to make a bet.
I know. Well, you lost it.
So the bet was that if Manny took an off day, I would buy you a sushi roll. And if Manny didn't take an off day, you would buy me a sushi roll?
Yeah. I think it was specifically Sunday. Wasn't it?
We said by the end of the week.
By the end of the week.
Care. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it all makes sense. He had really good at bats Friday and Saturday. Saturday they won. He had games where he hit home runs in back-to-back games. And then you gave him an off day yesterday. So now he has 2 straight off days. You hope that it wasn't just that, I'm playing the Rockies and I'm facing AAA pitching. Mm-hmm. And that he actually turned some type of corner and now will play better baseball leading into the postseason. Same thing with guys like Fernando Tatis Jr., and we'll talk about what he's done lately to maybe get his bat going, which is interesting, along with Jackson Merrill, who got his bat going this weekend against the Rockies. Is this just, hey, we played the Rockies? Or is this, hey, we're turning a corner offensively here to get us ready for the postseason? I don't know which one it is, and we'll find out more tomorrow night in New York.
Well, I would say this. If Machado hits 900 over these final 12 games, which would be very good.
It's pretty good.
9 hits in every 10.
Pretty good.
Let's say he went 18 for 20 down the stretch, or 27 for 30. You know what I'll tell you? Come September 30th, when they're at Wrigley Field, which is likely where they're going to start, the 900 stretch doesn't matter. What matters are these best of 3 games against the Chicago Cubs.
And you're absolutely right. Once the postseason starts, clean slate. Yep. It's what you do from the first game of the postseason on, which will kind of define your year a little bit here, right?
And maybe 900 helps. I mean, if he hits going into the postseason, I'll be more confident than if he doesn't hit over these last 12 games. But you bring up a really good point. Machado, okay, glimpses. Merrill now has had an extended stretch where he's been hitting for power.
Yeah.
And Tatis has had some impactful moments, and he has hit for way more power over the last couple of weeks as opposed to the previous couple of months. We've almost been waiting all year for that combination to hit. Now, Merrill's been out.
Yep.
Machado has played poorly over the last month by and large, and Tatis has had a weird season, a great start, very mediocre couple of months. Now he's played better. I mean, imagine a world where you get to Wrigley Field, and if that's even where they're heading, but it seems like that's where they're heading when the postseason gets underway. And imagine a world where Machado, Merrill, and Tatis look the part. I mean, we've been asking for that all year, and I think they're going to need it, truthfully, because I don't think you're going to win every game on the road in a playoff series 2-1. I think you're going to need to hit for a little bit of power. But yeah, it is encouraging, but I don't know if it's a mirage or not because it's the Colorado Rockies. And when it's the Cincinnati Reds, they didn't do it. When it was the Orioles, they didn't do it. When it was the Twins, they didn't do it. So can they do it now down the stretch in these final 4 series of the year?
It is kind of crazy when you look at the numbers, and the Padres have a plus 63 run differential. And you mentioned it, but still, like 52. They were plus 52 on the year in run differential against the Colorado Rockies.
Right.
On the season, they're plus 63. So it just shows you, thankfully, they played the Rockies this year, and the Rockies were awful.
Right.
And secondly, if they weren't playing the Rockies, they're basically like a 500-ish team almost. I mean, they went 10-3 against the Rockies this year. They're 82-68. That would be 72-65. I mean, it's good, but it's not like it doesn't show that they play everybody else well as.
Wait, so they're 82-68 overall, right?
Yeah.
You bring up a good point. Like, what if the Rockies had done to the Padres what the Padres have done to the Rockies? Just hear me out. If the Rockies were 10-3 against San Diego,
yeah,
what would the Padres record be? 500? Because isn't that a 14-game swing? Over 500? I know you're not.
You're asking me math questions, dude, on a Monday?
Here's the thing. All teams have benefited from playing the Rockies this year. If that's part of your path to the postseason, that's great. I'm fine with it. All teams have benefited, including the Dodgers, by the way, who are 11-2 against the Rockies this year. The question for me, like, I have to go further out. That's why I have to start with the postseason race. And I feel like Padres fans feel the same way. Like, is this about game 1 at Citi Field tomorrow and beating the Mets? Or is this about the seeding that they're essentially locked into? I just feel like they're locked into the seeding. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Phillies beat up on the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium this week. Maybe the Padres sweep the Mets and can make a move, and maybe the Cubs fall back and lose a series here to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I hope that happens, because now I almost do want to fast forward to the postseason, because I'm so resigned to the fact that it's just 4 versus 5, Cubs versus Padres, September 30th at Wrigley Field. I hope something else happens, truthfully, because it just feels like to me we've been down this path now for 2 weeks, and we're heading down that path for another 2 weeks, and we're just waiting for the inevitability of the postseason to start with the Padres in Wrigley against the Cubs.
Because making up 2.5 games in 12 days is going to be a tall task. Making up 3.5 games in 12 days is going to be a tall task. You know what else is a tall task? This building having sufficient internet to help us with our freaking show. That's also a very tough and tall task to ask of a company to have good internet.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Over on YouTube.
It's very difficult to have a company have good internet.
Like, here's the thing. Like, the guarantees in life should be like death, taxes, Wi-Fi.
Seriously.
Right, in 2025. It should be like death. It's an inevitability.
It is,
right?
unfortunately.
Taxes. All right.
We all have to pay taxes.
Such as life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I feel like Wi-Fi is important.
I do too. I feel like the internet component of life now, especially in a workplace, like it's gotta happen. Like you have to have internet to function. So unfortunately, we don't have that right now.
We don't. Maybe I'll just go buy you sushi and we'll get on with our day.
Maybe we can just leave. I mean, there's no internet. I mean,
yeah, forget about the radio. All right, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, is going to join us at 2:30 from New York. We're going to talk about Fernando Tatis Jr. and what has potentially led to him turning around the late portion of his season. We'll get into that on the other side, plus the Padres magic number. Actually, before we break, the Padres magic number to clinch the postseason is all the way down to 6, which means they could clinch a postseason spot as early as Thursday. Obviously, it could be much later than that, but they could clinch a postseason spot because the Giants lost yesterday. They're playing a team that's behind them right now in the Mets. I think the Mets are 5 games behind the Padres, but the Padres could clinch a postseason spot as early as Thursday. But I'm not thinking about whether they're in or out of the postseason right now. They have to make the postseason. Right?
That's not even like,
that's not even a question.
It's not even crossing my mind is if they're going to make the postseason or not.
And same with me. That's why the magic number, whatever.
Like what crosses my mind is 1, can they play better baseball? 2, can they make a run here? Can they make this thing interesting with the Dodgers in the division? 2.5 games, you might look on paper and say they're only 2.5 games. And if the Dodgers lose tonight, then it's only 2. But it's really 3 because they hold the tiebreaker with 12 remaining. That means you have to outplay them by 3 games here. So if you went 9-3, they would only need to go what, John?
Well, 7-5.
7-5 to win the division.
Yep.
And that's not like some crazy tough task for the Dodgers, I feel like. And so you're looking at a situation here where you might have to play close to perfect baseball remaining for the rest of the season to have a shot at winning the division for the first time in forever.
Yeah, to feel good about it, I agree with you. You're looking at 10-2 or 11-1 to feel better about your chances in the NL West or at that 4 seed and hosting the Cubs potentially in the wild card round. All right, we'll catch up on the other side with Kevin Acee. Will join us at 2:30. Plus, why has Fernando Tatis Jr. begun hitting again? That's next. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Kevin Acey's our Padres Insider will join us coming up at 2:30. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Download the iHeartRadio app. It's fun. You can listen to John and Jim. You can listen to San Diego Sports 760. Download the iHeartRadio app. So Kevin will join us at 2:30. Now, I missed Friday night's wrap-up show because I was traveling, but you did this show. This was after Fernando Tatis Jr. goes 0 with 4 Ks, right? I mean, this is a little bit of a low point for the teams. You've lost at home to the Rockies.
Yeah.
14 games left. They're not playing well. Thankfully, they played well over the last couple of days. So Toddy, after going 0 for 4 on Friday, calls his dad, the longtime major leaguer Fernando Tatis Sr., calls his dad Saturday. He says he picked his brain. There was some good back and forth. And then you look at what Tatis did over the weekend, including 3 hits yesterday for the Padres. How much of this is attributed to Fernando Tatis Sr. getting Fernando Tatis Jr. turned around after 0 for 4 with 4 Ks on Friday night?
Now, do you have what was in Kevin's article in front of you?
I picked his brain. There was some good back and forth.
Okay. Because I can't look at it on my computer because I have no internet.
That's the only quote in there. I picked his brain. There was some good back and forth.
So it now has, there's a lot of questions here and a lot of things that you can, a lot of ways you can go down, a lot of paths you can go down with this and Fernando Tatis Jr. talking to his dad. Number one, if just talking to his dad is going to help him and get him to perform, like maybe talk to him sooner. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure he does talk to his dad.
Or you can go down the path of like he has to go to his dad to get help. And what does that say about people in the organization, especially your hitting coach? Like,
oh, you want to go down the Victor Rodriguez has to go path?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that there's paths you can go down with this. Like, there's certain ways you can talk about this. For me, look, I just want the guy to perform. I just want the guy to hit. Whatever he needs to do to hit, do it. That's that you're not going to get suspended for.
Yeah, exactly.
But like whatever you need to do, whoever you need to talk to, whatever you need to do, just do it. Because if it's going to work, and if you talking to your dad is going to help you and get you to produce, talk to your dad. Go for it.
Well, I'm sure he does. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, I would imagine with the fact that his dad played in the big leagues as long as he did, and the fact that he's his father, I'm sure there is a level of conversation that happens throughout the course of the season. It is interesting that the first place he went after Friday night was to his dad, but that's what, honestly, I kind of prefer it. Like, that's what family is for. That's what dads are for, whether he played in the big leagues or not. He spends a lot of time with his dad in the offseason, does he not? There's been a lot of that, right? Coaching from his father in offseason. So I don't know. I just look at what's going on with Fernando Tatis Jr. and maybe like take Friday out of the equation. I feel like he looks like an improved player here recently. He was stuck on 17 home runs for the entire year.
Yeah,
right. And all of a sudden he's up to 22. And I get it. It hasn't been the first 3 years for Toddy in 2025, but the OPS is over 800. Like, he's been okay on offense, and I feel like he's been improving here recently on offense. I don't know if that's anecdotal or not. But again, is it the Rockies, or is Tatis going to play better down the stretch? We've seen him play well in postseasons before. I got no problem with him calling his dad when he's in a rut. And if that does turn him around, good for Toddy.
So weird. Like, I'm trying to look up stuff and I can't.
The internet doesn't work?
Yeah, it's great. I agree with you. I also want to see him continue to do this for the rest of the season, because the Rockies thing, I do think is it's a legitimate thing to talk about. Like, hey, was it the Rockies this weekend, or was it the team?
Right.
Now, remember when they had that 21-0 outburst at Coors Field? And then after that, they just went in the tank offensively. And we're like, oh, 21-0. This team's rolling offensively. And then they couldn't hit the blind side of a barn for like 2 months. It was a problem. And without the Rockies this year, where would the Padres be? Not in a good spot. But you also do need those teams in a season to like beat up on, Like, you need to have at least a team that you beat up on to make the postseason. And everyone's beat up on the Rockies this year. When you lose 108 games, everyone's beat up on you.
That's a good point. You're right. I mean, it's a team that the Padres have beat up on, but I mentioned it a moment ago. The Dodgers are 11-2. against the Rockies this year. So the Dodgers have actually played the Rockies better than the Padres. Yeah, I don't know what to make of Tatis. I know that this weekend he was 5 for 7. Over the course of Saturday and Sunday, he homered. 5 for 7 with a home run. That's an incredible weekend, especially off an 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. But does that mean I expect it to continue at Citi Field? Same thing with Machado. Had the big back-to-back games, home runs in back-to-back games. Sit Sunday. Do I expect it now to continue in New York? I'm along for the ride, dude. For these final 12 games, I don't have a great feel down the stretch for who this team is. I'll say that right now. They're under 500 over the last 20 games. I think they're 8-11 in their last 19 games. They're 3 games over since the trade deadline. Their bullpen, what we thought it was August 1st, is nothing like what we thought it was. Is now Mason Miller. Their whole bullpen is predicated right now on Mason Miller.
Right.
It's dealing with injuries. Starting pitching's been, arguably improved. I think it has been at times here recently, but I don't know what they're getting into here as the postseason is 2 weeks away. I really don't.
Yeah, the bullpen isn't this bulletproof bullpen that we thought they were going to be. The loss of Jason Adam, I think, really hurts them. Jeremiah Estrada, over his last 7 appearances, has a over 7 ERA.
Right.
Adrian Morejon, over his last 7 appearances, has an ERA in the 4.5s. Mason Miller is the one guy, like you mentioned, who is unhittable. I mean, he is like, you come into a game, you feel as confident as ever. Robert Suarez has been fine. He's been okay. Actually, I think he's been better than okay. He's 38 saves. I think he leads the National League in that department. But there are cracks, and it doesn't feel like, they lost David Morgan as well. So it's like, all right, with this team, going forward, we thought the bullpen was going to be this massive strength. It doesn't feel like that right now. It's still a strength of the team, but it's not like, oh, you get a lead after the 5th inning and this thing's over. It's not the case. That is definitely not the case with this team.
No, it hasn't been, and we'll see if it is in the postseason or not. When again, you're trying to shorten games with your bullpen, but we'll see if the Padres are able to do that this year or not. We'll catch up with Kevin Acee. He's got the latest for us on the other side. Timing on Xander Bogaerts, expectations for Michael King, who will make his second start since coming off the IL tomorrow night in New York. And the Padres begin this critical series against the Mets, which is 12 games remaining in the regular season. Can they catch either the Dodgers or the Cubs in front of them right now in the NL postseason standings? We'll catch up with Kevin Acee in New York on the other side. Plus, coming up today at 4:30, Will Brinson, CBS Sports. We'll talk about week 2 in the NFL. Will Brinson back with us. He will join us coming up at 4:30. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, Padres, they have an off day today. They start a 3-game series versus the Mets on the road starting tomorrow night in New York. They took 3 of 4 from the Rockies over the weekend. They're still 2.5 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West, 3.5 games back of the 4 seed and the Cubs. And tonight we have a double header Monday Night Football. First up, Texans, they take on the Buccaneers, and then Raiders Chargers at 7 p.m. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760.
All right, Padres Mets get underway in the Big Apple tomorrow from Queens. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Hard to believe the Padres have played 150 games. Just 12 games remain in the regular season. Kevin, we always appreciate you taking time. I kind of started the show by saying I'm reserved to the fact that we're just heading down this inevitable path where the Padres are the 5 seed. Now, they could win 10 games, they might be the 5 seed. They could win 5 games, they might be the 5 seed. Are you willing to go down that path with me? It just seems like we're just playing out the string here over the final 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, if you start to do the math, and it's been about a week, but I've felt this way, but now I think you start to do the math, and it's like for it to change takes some pretty drastic results by the Padres combined with by the Cubs or Dodgers, and or the Padres and then like the Mets or Giants or I guess the Reds or Diamondbacks. But it takes these like incredible swings where one team does really good and one team, the other right team does really bad, or vice versa. And so, pretty sure that 5 versus 4 Padres at Cubs is a pretty safe bet. But we just said this, and based on what the last 6 months have brought us, they're going to end up being the 3 seed hosting the Giants.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's baseball. It's unpredictable. And there's still 12 games remaining for the Padres. So, I mean, a lot could happen or nothing could happen. That's kind of where we're at right now. How do you view this past weekend, Kevin? Taking 3 of 4 from the Rockies, that's good. Friday night, bad. Some players that were ice cold, heating up, good. Or, how do you view this past week and this is a good sign? You saw Manny play well. He got an off day. Jackson Merrill, his power is returning. Fernando Tatis Jr. played really well. That's good. Or do you view it as, it's the Rockies? I got to see it versus everybody else.
If they feel good, then it's good. That's what I'll say first off. I'll say that, it stinks. I would say that 2 of the pitchers they threw, at least 2, the Friday, Saturday guys, are good pitchers, and it stinks for them. They have to pitch for the Rockies and pitch at Coors Field because we don't know how good. And then all of a sudden they get down and they can have games like that. Take a look at that kid, McCade Brown, and what he's done to some really good teams this year. Look at. They should have swept the series. They should have hit better. They should have been playing better for a long time. I want to make sure that I'm not, making it's coming across like I'm saying they're playing great, and that winning 5 of 8 means that you would win 101 games. Just checking to see if you guys listen to the press conferences over the weekend.
I listened to one. I couldn't listen to both, but I got where you're going.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying, look, let's set the stage. It's been bad, and we got a lot to talk about. But they took 3 or 4 from the Rockies. Jackson Merrill's actually looked good for a while, and now we're talking about 8 games, 8 extra base hits, and the stroke is back, and the confidence is back. That's big. Manny got, I thought, man, it couldn't have been better. The home runs, the singles were good. The walks were good. Okay, gosh, he hadn't looked like that in a while. So, it's really good. They beat the Rockies. I mean, I don't know what else. It's better to beat them at sea level than beat them at Coors Field, I guess, in terms of, you've played some real baseball. But, now they play the Mets, and I think this is a really neat September series.
And take it for what you will. The run differential thing this year for the Padres, they're plus 63 on the year, but they're plus 52 against the Rockies this season. So it's incredible. It's kind of take it for what it is, I guess. Yeah.
Kevin Ace is Padres.
Incredible. How much? Didn't they score more against the Rockies? The best record against the Rockies. They scored more against the Rockies maybe than ever. It's real lopsided. But you know what? We were discounting their 10-3 against the Giants, and look what the Giants are doing. So, right. It's baseball.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, I think, are 11-2 against the Rockies this year. So it's a part of it. The Padres aren't the only team to take advantage of the Rockies on their schedule in 2025. Kevin Acey is with us from New York. What about this bullpen, Kevin? I mean, From where they were August 1st, where it was being described as a super pen, to now losing multiple pieces and then watching leads just evaporate. Even in a win like yesterday, a 7-run game becomes 7-6. We've seen both Jeremiah Estrada and Adrian Morejon come back to earth here recently. How concerning is that?
You know, what I've seen is both of them also rebound. So it is concerning, right? But bullpens are always concerning. I saw them both rebound well the last time you said, oh, wow, okay, are they, every time a reliever's been going good and pitching a lot, you're like, oh, is he tired? Oh, is this going to be a bad stretch? And I really do think that especially Adrian Morejon has not had, repeat performances this year. So we'll see, but I had the same thought you did. Okay, here you are, and all you needed to do. Now, who knows? We're talking about young guys too. And one of the tricks for a really good reliever is to never think that he won't be in the game. And I don't know. I didn't talk to either one of them yesterday. It wasn't important on that day. There are other stuff. But what was their mindset yesterday? Where was their focus? There's all sorts of things that at this time of year I go, okay, this was the Rockies. So if I'm going to discount the positives, sometimes I have to ask questions about where were Jeremiah Estrada and Adrian Morejon and anybody else yesterday when they were up 7-0 on the Rockies, getting ready to, get on a plane and go play an important series and knowing that clinching is coming up? You just don't know. And then when you come to the postseason, well, they're going to be locked in. So I really don't know what to read into it.
Michael. Turn your mic on, Jim. Michael King tomorrow. I do that sometimes.
All the time, every day.
I'm an idiot. Michael King tomorrow. First start, good. He was under, pitch count. Is this now when they're just going to unleash him, or do you think they're still going to maybe have a pitch count limit for him tomorrow?
I think there's something of a limit, but it's going to depend on the stress of the innings. There's still something of a limit for Yu Darvish. Different deal. Yu Darvish's elbow is never going to be right 100%, and he's 39. But I think there's still something of a limit. But if he pitches like he did the other night, the first 5 innings, then that's not a lot of stress. That's efficient King, and go for it. I think. I don't know what that number is, but it's not something that you would say would keep him from having a quality start.
Kevin Ace is our Padres insider. He joins us from New York. How do you think they're lining this up? I mean, obviously it's Pivetta for game 1 when they get to the postseason. Yeah. Presumably with health, it's got to be Michael King for game 2. In a decisive third game, who gets the ball?
Mm-hmm. It's probably Yu Darvish, don't you think? I haven't talked to anybody about it. It's a little early because also I think one of the interesting things is how do they line it up? And when you get down to the end of the season and there's 5 games to go and you're still 2 games back of the Dodgers, and now it's a choice. Let's say it is. I still need to pencil it out. But now it's a choice between lining up your rotation for the wild card series, which you're going to be in regardless, and winning the division. What do you do? I say you line up your pitchers. But rather than go for the division, because what does that really get you? But I think it's Yu Darvish. What do you guys think?
I think Yu Darvish as well, just because I just trust him more in a postseason game over Dylan Cease.
Especially on the road. I don't think you can give the ball to Dylan Cease with your season on the line on the road and then live with the outcome.
No, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That to me, based on his performance this year.
Yeah, a lot of times when we get into these weird splits, where it's what is the explanation for that? I'll be like, But when you're talking postseason and you're also talking Dylan Cease, who clearly, there's something Dylan. There's something. I'm trying to be careful how I say it because he's a professional athlete. I'm not. I really respect what they do, but there's something mental happening as well this year, and who knows what it is. And yeah, I'm with you. I am absolutely with you for all those reasons. Now, both of them are prone to 3 really good innings and boom, right?
Yeah,
something like that. But it's the postseason, and you've got guys. You're no longer doing the thing that Mike Shildt is excellent about. That I know fans don't appreciate, is not wearing out his bullpen for as much as he has to use them. But in the postseason, you got guys hot. You're ready to go, right? And so you pull them right away. So, but it's both of them give me pause, but I'm going with Darvish at this point.
Yeah, and if Darvish were to hypothetically, he pitches a game 3 and he blows up and he doesn't pitch well, no one's going to be like, oh, they should have gone to Dylan Cease instead. But if Dylan Cease pitches a game 3 and he blows up, then the whole conversation will be, why didn't they go to you, Darvish? So I we're in agreement there. Kevin, you mentioned that Fernando Tatis Jr. Talked to his dad recently about hitting, and probably no coincidence that he has played better recently. What does the organization think about that in particular for Tatis having to go to his dad, and seemingly when he goes to his dad, he then performs? What's the thought there from the organization on that whole process?
Whatever works, especially with Tatis. And this was just I gotta be careful here. There's a lot of stuff we talked about yesterday, and for some reason he wanted some of it just to be a conversation. I gotta be careful here, but I think the conversation with his dad this time was relax, stop working so hard. Right? And maybe that surprises people that Tatis has been taking 1,000 swings in the cage and stuff. And I think that was the gist of the conversation this time. I'll say that. And so sometimes it's just that. It's his dad, his most trusted, guy. And he played in the major leagues for 10 years, and, that works, right? I think it's a valid question that you have. I've had it as well, and I don't see any resentment whatsoever. Vic Rodriguez is the most humble, deferential man that you'll ever meet. And so I don't think there's any issue there in terms of because it's not like Tatis isn't also working with Vic and Sean O'Sullivan and Mike McCoy, but his dad's his guy, man. And, Luis Suarez has his guy. And so that's, I think it's cool. I do. And I think that it got into Fernando's consciousness this time, and he was a different guy. I mean, we've all seen it where he looks terrible and it goes on for 4 or 5 days. Not just doesn't get, whatever, looks terrible. And Friday night. And the way he turned it around was super impressive, because those were really good at bats over the weekend.
Kevin, before you go, how do you look at this series? The last time the Padres faced the Mets were rolling and then swept in San Diego. This time around, the Mets are really mired in a slump here. They snapped an 8-game losing streak yesterday. These games are so meaningful for both of these teams. What do you make of this 3-game set in New York that begins tomorrow night?
And it's funny, this time of year, you can get into fun conversations with some people in the organization and stuff. And yesterday it was hey, do we want the Mets to win today so that, they've got that off their back? Or do we want them to really be, still on a losing streak when we go there? Not that they were saying it matters, but just kind of they're having fun scoreboard watching and doing the kind of stuff that we're doing and that we tend to do more often all year. And then in the final 2 weeks, they're more willing to do it, And so I thought that was interesting. Gosh, I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this Mets team. They've been a streaky team all year. And of course you read and listen to the New York media. They're the worst. They're the best. They got no chance. I honestly have no idea what to make of this series. It's not what I anticipated. I thought it would be this big battle for 5 and 6, and who knows? We could be eating our words. The Mets might sweep them, and suddenly the Padres are trying to stay out of the 6. But the Mets are a good team. I don't know. Have you guys followed them? What's been going on lately? I haven't started to look at them yet. I thought the Mets were a really good team.
They're a team that should be better than they are, I think.
Okay.
They still have firepower in that lineup. I mean, Juan Soto, look at his numbers. It's people aren't really talking about Juan Soto's a 30-30 guy this year. It's what? Came out of nowhere. Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor.
I want to say some of the young starters.
That's what I look at. See, because I spend so much time on the Padres, I just see pitchers, and I haven't looked at the lineup. I haven't looked at the rotation. I see their pitchers who have done really well against the Padres, and I see power in their lineup. I go, gosh, what's happening there? So, but I'm excited because it's not the Rockies, and it's not the Rockies. I'm excited.
Yeah,
that is
actual real baseball team.
Yeah. Kevin, always appreciate it. Enjoy New York. We'll catch up with you Wednesday before Game 2 of the series.
No, take care.
All right, Kevin Acee, our Padres Insider, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. We can react to that on the other side. Plus, what on earth happened this weekend involving Ken Rosenthal again? You'll hear from Ken directly on the other side. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Will Brinson, NFL Insider, will join us at 4:30
Hopefully
tonight. No, he'll join us at 4:30, just like Kevin just joined us.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Kevin just joined us.
I'll knock on wood.
Yeah, we'll be able to join us at 4:30. We'll talk about this doubleheader tonight, week 2 in the NFL with Will Brinson coming up at 4:30. We're not going to hear from Ken Rosenthal directly. Not that we need to necessarily hear from Ken Rosenthal directly. But I mean, it would be nice maybe. But I didn't even see this. I don't know why I was traveling this weekend, but Ken Rosenthal post-game Brewers celebration knocks over a cameraman and stares him down like he wants to murder him and then shakes his head in frustration. And then because he was caught on camera, today has to go on his podcast and apologize for that.
Yeah, that's not a face of somebody who was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah, he didn't like try to like pick him up. I mean, if it was an accident, it's an accident. It's okay.
Yeah, it was. It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose by him.
Not. Yeah,
because I forget who the Brewers player was that got soaked or the Gatorade bath, but it was Ken moving backwards, running into a production person. But it was the look from Ken and then the shaking of the head.
Yeah,
that led you down the path of like, Ken, bro, bad look, dude.
Really bad look.
Bad look. And you got caught on camera. And now you've become this like meme. And then because everybody's talking about you and how this thing went viral over the weekend, like, I mean, you gave this guy a death stare and then shook your head as you're walking away. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't your fault.
It was just like happened. It was like the photographer was doing his job. Ken was doing his job. Ken was so mad that this photographer like got in his way. And by the way, the only reason he apologized is because it was on camera and everyone saw what he did.
Yep, that's what happens.
If that happened in a tunnel between a clubhouse and like a dugout, you would never, ever hear anything on it. But because it happened on national TV or now it's on social media with tens of thousands of shares, he had to like put his tail between his legs and apologize for it.
By the way, if Ken didn't have that death stare and get mad at the cameraman or the production assistant that was just standing there doing his job, if he didn't give him that death stare, and if instead he showed a little more remorse and was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or like put a hand out and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and gave no one would be talking about it.
He would have looked like the good guy if he went down and helped the guy up.
Now, do I think Ken Rosenthal is this like evil person? Like, no, I just thought that in that moment, like, not a great look, Ken.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of show like maybe who you are? Because you can't necessarily like, he wasn't expecting that. And I feel like we saw like the true Ken in that moment because he took exception to like the cameraman being in his way and stared him down and then shook his head. Like that to me was like almost like an instinct. Like his reaction was real.
And the guy's on the ground and you're standing up still
backside.
And you're walking away from him and you just shake your head.
Didn't check on him.
I mean, that stare is just, not a good look for Ken.
Him down.
Not a good look for Ken. And yes, he did get the pressure of that becoming a viral moment on the internet to then have to be forced to apologize in that moment.
I mean,
or today, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Ken Rosenthal is like, honestly, does any fan base like Ken Rosenthal? I mean, he does the bidding for teams like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But do you really like Ken Rosenthal? Are Dodger fans out there like, man, I really appreciate the work that Ken Rosenthal does. Such a brilliant baseball reporter and writer.
Maybe because he kisses their butt all the time.
Maybe. I think people see through it. I think Ken Rosenthal is so fake. I really do.
I do too.
I think the thing that played out last year in the postseason with the sinister sling is that, and that's not just a Padres like related comment. It's just like, why would you ever go down that path with any team? It was almost like a personal vendetta.
It was
against Manning. Probably
one of the most unprofessional articles that you'll see from a quote unquote like insider or someone who just covers the entire sport of baseball to make that moment in specifically that moment into a personal vendetta against Manny Machado was, man. And then also to throw in like Fernando Tatis Jr. in the mix and Jurickson Profar and how they play the game of baseball and calling them out for how they played. And then saying, by the way, the night before in the broadcast, you were talking about how great of a leader Manny Machado was.
Bring everyone together.
And then the next day you write this article that is making Manny once again look like the bad guy and giving the Dodgers what they wanted.
The unprofessional part was like you're reporting on the series.
Yeah.
You're an unbiased reporter. Right. And now in the series, you're writing a column about the sinister sling. And if you remember, the Padres didn't let him in the dugout the next game.
Good. And
Remember that?
And they, I don't know if Ken will be allowed back. Maybe he will, just because I think he was actually allowed.
He was for game 5.
Yeah. It might have been just like a one game, like, hey, dude, we saw the article. You ain't coming in this clubhouse.
Another example, though, where it's like, you wish you get the last laugh.
And you did.
You wish you make him look bad.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen last year. But I'm sorry, man. Ken Rosenthal for a while has kind of rubbed me. He's always rubbed me the wrong way with the bow tie and the look and the I'm too cool for school. I know more about baseball than you. It's a classic example of someone that reports on the sport that, like, I don't know, just treats it like he knows more than everyone else.
Yeah. And, the things that have happened here in San Diego specifically with the Scherzer deal that was reported by him, which he got pretty much fooled by the Dodgers and maybe even Scott Boras.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year with the Sinister Sling article. Yeah, I understand why Padres fans don't like Ken Rosenthal.
100%.
I understand why they don't like Ken.
But then I watched something like what played out this weekend, and now I understand why baseball fans don't like Ken Rosenthal. Because what you saw play out this weekend in Milwaukee was like the true Ken Rosenthal. And he apologized for it. I would play the sound for you if we had it, but we don't have the sound, so we can't.
Because the internet is a thing that doesn't work in this building.
Correct. All right. On the other side, we'll switch gears. We'll get into week 2 in the NFL. We'll cover all the angles, and plus your Niners, by the way, picking up a big win behind Mac Jones. Mac Jones plays hero for the Niners in
Surprised
New
it took
Orleans.
this long to get to Mac Jones.
Will Brinson will join us at 4:30. Our NFL insider.
Please don't be Mac Jones. Please don't be Mac Jones.
We have that. We have that sound. Will Brinson, our NFL insider, will join us coming up at 4:30. He'll join us weekly on Mondays. And we are here until 6 p.m. So we've got you covered. Oh, we have tickets to give away for San Diego State and Cal this weekend. So we'll do that as well in the 4 o'clock hour. Big game for the Aztecs at home at Snapdragon Stadium against Cal coming up Saturday night at 7:30. So we'll give away a pair of tickets to the Aztecs in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll kick off hour 3 with week 2 in the NFL. That's next. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of John and Jim. So we're doing here, by the way, this is what back in the day, like 25 years ago, people did radio shows. They did everything without the internet somehow.
Yeah, I don't know
Right?
how.
I don't Jim would not have you would not have made it in that era.
Well, a lot of it had to be they had a bunch of newspapers and articles.
Yeah, they like
and,
prepped.
Yeah,
Yeah, they like prepared.
right. But I'm just saying, like back in the day, that's what you'd have to do. That's how you prep.
Yeah, you
is
have
you,
to
get,
like prepare.
you get the newspaper. Now the newspaper comes from the
The
internet.
internet, 100%. So we are doing a stream still. Our internet's down in the building, but a stream is playing on YouTube that is just like a black screen. It's
so
literally a black
stupid.
screen, but I think people they can hear us.
They can.
So they cannot see us. So we're basically doing an audio show on YouTube
Yes.
where you can hear the show, but you can't see us because the internet in our building has been down since we started the show. So for one full hour, we have been quote unquote flying blind, and Jim's got nothing.
I have nothing.
This is going to be very hard on you because typically at a break, Jim goes right to TikTok for 5 straight minutes.
I
Right, and
do
then go
other
straight
things.
to-
Not the TikTok. I mean,
Well, you know what I mean? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, right? But now no Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter, no internet
so
for 3 hours.
right. Well, we don't know when this internet's going
It
to
could
get
be
back
3
up.
days,
I
you're
mean,
right.
No one's coming here to tell us or talk to us about anything.
You're right. It could be a month.
Yeah, we don't know. Nobody's
you may
coming
never
here.
have internet again.
Right. We've
in
had
this
nobody come to talk to us about the internet. So we are literally flying blind here. I am at least.
Yeah, I have internet.
You have
A hotspot.
not only you have a hotspot, you have and by the way, we tried the hotspot thing and the hotspot wasn't working on my
Well,
computer.
no, not for streaming. Yeah.
But you have service on your phone without
Yeah.
the internet, correct?
Well, who's your provider?
AT&T.
Switch.
Oh, okay. So
have
I don't have service in here and I don't have internet. So I don't have access to the rundown. We don't have access to play sound. I don't have access to the updates. I don't have access to our live reads.
So kind of a perfect show for you.
Great show.
Just sit
Awesome.
back and chill.
Yeah.
For the next 3
Don't have
hours.
access to our email.
Again, it is amazing what people did for 50 years. It was more than 50.
It's like
But
a
like
turn
if you
back
were
the
doing
clock day.
Sports Talk Radio in 1990.
Yeah.
There
Oh
was
yeah.
Steve Harmon.
I
Doing
know.
shows in 93 and 94 and 90. I mean, he's not relying on the internet.
No, he's not relying on social media. He's not
None of it.
relying on the internet, YouTube, promotion of the show on social media platforms.
None
Nothing.
of it. None of it. So it gives me newfound
Yeah.
appreciation for that.
Right. It does. So yeah, it's like a little bit of a turn back the clock day here at iHeart with no heads up and nobody telling us what's going on. So it's
a
great.
turn back the clock. Now, tonight, you can hear Monday Night Football, at least game 2. This will be Chargers
Hopefully.
Raiders from Vegas. Bucks Texans will be earlier at 4, actually an hour from now. Chargers Raiders is interesting because A, it's Chargers Raiders, and B, the winner's 2-0.
That's
it's
correct.
in division. So I'm not a huge Monday Night Football doubleheader guy, but I do recognize Chargers Raiders in division has value, especially with the Chiefs now 0-2.
Yeah.
So there's a door open in the AFC West. You've got a Chargers team that was impressive against the Chiefs in Brazil, now trying to bounce back and beat the Raiders in Las Vegas. A game you can hear on San Diego Sports 760, and truthfully, a significant early season game for both of these teams.
I think
Chargers
it would be a more important win for the Chargers than the Raiders from this standpoint.
Okay.
If the Chargers win tonight, not only are they 2-0, they're 2-0 in the division to start
That's
the
a
year.
good point. Yeah.
Against the Chiefs and the Raiders, both of them on the road, to say what it is. I know
Mhm.
the Brazil was the home game, but it was on the road.
Mhm.
So 2-0 against division opponents on the road. If the Raiders won tonight, it's still impressive for sure. But it'd be more impressive if the Chargers won because of the fact that they've faced 2 division opponents, and if they win, they're 2-0 in the division.
From a sheer football perspective, doesn't it feel like the Chargers need to win the game behind Jim Harbaugh? Like if you took the show on the road to Brazil and beat the Chiefs, don't you need to find the way to win as a favorite in Las Vegas tonight? Like just to kind of prove that you're on the right path with Harbaugh and you're a legitimate I don't know if contender is the right term. I'm not saying they're Buffalo or Baltimore, but to prove like you're able to take a next step. Wouldn't it require winning a game like this as a favorite in Las Vegas tonight from a Charger perspective? It feels to me like it would.
I would say so. Yes. I would say so. Yes. Raiders could be sneaky good.
Yeah.
Could they
It was
be
only a
sneaky
4-point
good?
line or 3.5 points.
Chargers need to do something to make people believe in them.
Yep.
Starting the year off 2-0 with 2 wins in the division against 2 maybe good. I mean, I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be good. Obviously, it's like they got Patrick Mahomes. They got a good defense. They're going to win
They'll
games.
Win 10 games.
They're going to be good. They're going to be in the playoff mix. But how good can they be? And then the Raiders, like, are the Raiders going to be a sneaky good team? I mean, Geno Smith's kind of the perfect quarterback for Pete Carroll. We'll see what Ashton Genty can do for the Raiders. I actually love that they have him, and I love that spot for Ashton Genty. I'm excited because the division could be really good.
Yeah, I think the division is going to be very good. I thought obviously the game yesterday that everyone circled was the afternoon game between the Chiefs and the Eagles. And that game, the takeaway coming out of a game like that, A, the Chiefs are 0-2, B, the Eagles are 2-0.
That was an ugly game.
It was, but the tush push receives once again like this national level of critiquing. Remember the offseason, was it going to be outlawed or not? They kept it around for 2025. Does yesterday ultimately mean a death knell for the tush push? There were multiple false starts that went uncalled against the Eagles. They used it to their advantage throughout the course of the game. You could argue the difference between the Eagles winning and losing that game, as you could have argued last year as well in some games, was the tush push. So now that it was seen by everyone once again, do you think that this is a play that is coming to an end at the end of 2025? My guess is yes.
I think it's going to be revisited for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they needed, 2 more votes?
Right, it was close this past offseason. I forget the numbers, but yeah, it was close.
Was it like 22 to, or like 20 to 10, or I forget.
Sure.
I forget what the voting came down to, but it was close. Like they needed like 1 or 2 more teams to vote to ban it, and it would have been gone. Now, there has to be like a revisiting of this topic because it was clear as day yesterday. Clear as day. And Tom Brady might be the reason why this thing might go away. Calling out and showing the fact that every time it's offsides, every time it's a false start.
False start, yeah.
Every time it's the center can't be over the football like that. Like they just formed it into a rugby play. That's not legal. You can't have your center be over the football. You can't have your 2 guards be ahead of the football and then, starting before the ball's even snapped. I mean, it's penalties on both sides because you got the defense, their hats are above the line of scrimmage. You got the offense, their hats are above the line of scrimmage. And it's just like, all right, let's make this thing as ugly as possible here. I mean, I really do hate the tush push. But if they do ban it, then what happens when quarterbacks do a quarterback sneak? Is that going to be considered a tush push or not?
It's funny because this offseason, I'm like, it's kind of soft to get rid of something that you can't beat. It's like, oh, the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they use that as a weapon of theirs. Therefore, let's get rid of it.
But it's an illegal play.
Well,
from the standpoint of they're not only they are false starting, the center's right over the football.
Yesterday, yes. I don't know if that's how it was used last year or not. But after watching yesterday, what I was going to say is, yeah, you could make a pretty legitimate case to get rid of it. I mean, the fact that the Eagles used it in that manner and basically had successful tush pushes with clear and obvious false starts that went uncalled. Hey, you can't even see when there's a false start. There's like 22 dudes on the line of scrimmage. They're within an inch of each other.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah, so you can't even see it down the line from an officiating perspective. So I get how they get away with it. I think its days are probably numbered. And by the way, I mean, it's been a huge part of the Eagles' game plan for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, how many touchdowns Jalen Hurts has?
How many did he have last year?
That's one of the reasons why he drafted him in fantasy football, because
like 20 touchdowns last year.
He's going to get 10 to 15 rushing touchdowns alone just from the tush push.
How concerned are we about the Chiefs? 0-2?
Oh, I'm not concerned.
Well, I mean, obviously. I mean, nor am I.
But all the talk today about tush push is taking away the talk of, the Chiefs, it doesn't look pretty.
Well, their offense is anemic. It was anemic last year, and they won every game by 2 points. They won every game like 21-19. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, the Chiefs. But they'll turn it on when they need to. You've heard the same thing about the Dodgers this year in the postseason. They'll turn it on when they need to. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the Chiefs at home can't move the football. Like they have 10 points with a few minutes left in the game. The Chiefs last week against the Chargers can't move the football. The Chiefs last year and this basically all year long, certainly in the second half of the year, can't move the football. It's like that offense that we saw with Tyreek Hill 5-6 years ago. That offense is nowhere to be found.
Are the Chiefs? Do you like watching the Chiefs play football?
I mean, no, not particularly. I think their calling card is they know how to win close games. Like that's been the calling card over the last year plus.
I agree. I don't particularly think the Chiefs are a good watch. I don't think that they're exciting. I don't think that they're. I mean, they're a good football team, but I don't think they're.
Good,
I don't think they're like the upper echelon of the NFL. They just outcoach you because they got Spags and Andy Reid, and they got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the league anymore. He's not. They don't have the weapons. Their offense is anemic from the standpoint of like the last 3 years. I think they've averaged 21 and around 20 points per game. Like they just don't score. They don't score. There used to be a team that averaged 29, 30 points a game. And then now they completely have shifted the way they play to we're going to win by one score and we're going to keep this low scoring. Not to say Mahomes isn't a good quarterback. He is. But, you know, for everything that I hear about quarterbacks needing to perform without weapons, yet Mahomes doesn't have weapons, and he looked like that yesterday, and he's looked pretty kind of average here with quote unquote no weapons.
This is why I take Purdy over Mahomes.
Then what's the? I'm not. What's to take on Mahomes? I mean,
I mean it's a fair point. And by the way, I feel like people would be lying. Well, I'm not going to bet against the Chiefs until I see them lose in the postseason. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the changing of the guard has already happened. Are the Chiefs really a better football team than the Buffalo Bills?
No.
Or the Baltimore Ravens?
Right now, no.
That's the thing. So it's like, well, let's see what happens in the postseason. Well, they got to get there. And they're going to be like a 6 or 7. I mean, how many games are they going to win? They're starting 0-2. What's the most games they're going to win? 10 or 11?
You can't start 0-3.
That's the thing. I mean, they have the Giants.
0-3 teams. They don't make the postseason.
Right. But it does feel like, man, if they get to a Super Bowl this year, then like build statues for everything, everyone. How on earth could they even do that?
But a big reason why, not the only reason, but a big reason why they're always in it and they're always competing.
Their defense?
3 things. Spags, Andy Reid, and Mahomes. That's it. Now, their roster is not as good as past Chiefs rosters. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But, they'll out-coach the hell out of you. They'll out-scheme you on defense. Andy Reid will dial up some plays on offense, and Mahomes, he'll make the right play, but it won't be pretty. I can tell you that. It will not be pretty. You're not going to see that flashy Chiefs team unless they get better weapons, because right now it's like you got a Travis Kelce out there that's costing them games. Mahomes, he is the definition of check down quarterback. Look at his spray chart. That dude throws everything at the line of scrimmage. Like he'll throw it deep a couple times, but man, does he love the check down. And then you have Andy Reid and Spags who will outcoach and outcoach a lot of teams out there.
Yeah. Are you going to make the Super Bowl winning every game 10-7? This is like my Padres. Like, are you going to win rounds holding slim leads, like 2-1 leads? You're going to sit on a 2-1 lead and be able to win in the postseason? Are the Chiefs going to be able to do that? Now, those were the same questions last year, because their offense was not good last year.
No, it wasn't.
And they made a Super Bowl.
I know.
But it feels like the path is even harder this year because they're not going to be the 1 seed. They're 0-2. They're going to have to go on the road. We'll see.
I mean, the thing is, though, they have proven, though, they can go on the road and win games.
They have.
Baltimore, Buffalo.
I mean, they've won in every possible way.
I know.
But I don't know if they're going to do it again this year or not. But stay tuned. All right, on the other side, we're going to hear from Colin Cowherd, but we'll make his point for him on the other side. The point basically is, does Brock Purdy suck? After we saw Mac Jones go out there and have 3 touchdown passes against the New Orleans Saints, who Jim vilified 4 years ago, is Mac Jones just Brock Purdy? And what was the point of paying Brock Purdy? That's next on John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
Please don't be Mac Jones. Please don't be Mac Jones.
All right, San Diego Sports 760 presents our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival live this Friday and Saturday, Jim, from T-Mobile in Vegas. The biggest names across all styles of music all together on one stage on one weekend. Many of these artists like Mariah Carey and others have headlined the biggest festivals around the world this year, and we have them all on one stage this weekend. Experience the show live all weekend long. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on iHeartRadio this Friday and Saturday starting at 7:30. Why are you looking at me?
No reason. I was going to say something, but I won't.
Don't do it. Will Brinson will join us, senior
Yeah.
NFL writer for CBS Sports, will join us at 4:30. Next hour, we're going to give away tickets to see San Diego State and Cal. I wanted to play Sean Lewis sound from today, but we won't.
Guess not.
Because we don't have the audio because we're experiencing some technical difficulties. I also wanted to play, let's just say what we wanted to do today. I wanted to hear from Colin Cowherd today, who eviscerates Brock Purdy.
Eviscerate might be like a
Whatever, we're not going to hear. So
I know,
can say
right?
it.
Yeah, still just
He basically, no, not basically. He compares Mac Jones to Brock Purdy, which therefore to him means Purdy. What's the difference? If Mac Jones could operate that way in Kyle Shanahan's offense, why do you need Brock Purdy if Mac Jones proved he's capable of doing the exact same thing?
Did you watch that game
Not
yesterday?
1 second.
I know you would.
I
know you
won't
didn't.
watch 1 second of the Niners
Why not?
because I have no desire to.
Okay. Well, I thankfully
Watched 1
every,
second.
I watched every second, so you didn't have to.
Okay. Do you think Colin watched 1 second of the game? I don't.
I think Colin watched a lot of seconds of every game.
Maybe.
Like, hey, I want to watch 10 minutes of this game. I want to watch 10 minutes of that game. And then I'm going to talk to some scouts around the league and get my opinions off of scouts because I can't watch every football game because it's impossible to watch every football game and every snap of every game to make an opinion about everything. But yesterday with the Niners and Mac Jones, yeah, Mac Jones played great. Didn't start out well. It looked bad for Mac Jones to start out. Started 0 for 4 throwing. But he did play really well overall. Now, I will say, watching every snap of that game, there's not one thing that I saw from Mac Jones that I thought to myself, wow, he's better than Brock Purdy.
Yeah, but if you thought to yourself he's similar, isn't that an indictment on Brock Purdy?
Well, there's two things that Brock Purdy does better than Mac Jones, which it's easy to see. Number one, Mac Jones has zero mobility. He is a statue. And especially with that offensive line, you need mobility. And in today's NFL, you just need mobility in general. Mac Jones has none of it. And number two, there were some easy throws that Mac Jones sailed. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's perfect because he's not, but there were throws that I'm like, I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And every throw that he did make, Brock can make those throws. So there wasn't one thing that I saw yesterday that I'm like, oh yeah, Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy. So yeah, I think yesterday I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. If Mac Jones played well, you would get guys like Colin Cowherd that don't watch the 49ers on a regular basis, who hate Brock Purdy just to hate Brock Purdy because he's not Josh Allen or Mahomes or Burrow or Lamar Jackson, that he was going to rip Brock Purdy because Mac Jones played well. Completely forgetting the fact that Brock Purdy had a game-winning drive on the road last week in Seattle. Like, oh, no, discredit that. Mac Jones could have easily done that.
Also, isn't beating the Saints potentially like beating the Rockies?
No,
What
I
do
don't
you
think the Saints
learn
are that bad.
Maybe not, but I mean, what are they going to win? You tell me.
I don't know, 5-6 games maybe.
So they're not going to be great.
They're not going to be great, but they're also not going to be the worst team in the
Historically
league.
bad, right?
Like, who's the worst team in the league in your opinion right now? Not the Saints.
No, you tell me. Is it like Cleveland?
You could argue Cleveland. Yeah.
We'll be right there,
You could argue Cleveland.
as
You
was easily predictable.
could argue Carolina.
Yeah. But you're saying, yeah, that's fair, that the Saints aren't going to, they're not going to have the fewest wins in the league.
Right. I don't believe they will.
No, I think that's a fair point. By the way, the idea that you can win a game with a backup quarterback, that doesn't mean that the starting quarterback isn't a better quarterback.
No.
It kind of means you have a good team in place. I mean, don't good teams have to win at times when they are
Yes.
dealing with injuries, whether it's a quarterback or not.
Yes, the whole reason to have a good backup
You
quarterback
have to be able to win.
is to win games if
those
your
games.
starter goes down.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, like, does anybody who's the quarterback for the Bengals yesterday? Browning,
Oh yeah, Jack Brown.
Jack Browning.
Yep.
Is anybody in Cincinnati being like, oh, Jack Browning because he won the game yesterday when Joe Burrow's healthy?
Right, exactly. He's Joe Burrow. Why even keep Burrow?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're paying Burrow all this money. Why not go Jack
Yeah,
Browning?
it's
They can do the same thing.
It's only one game. It's not a one season.
But that's what the thing about Mac Jones is.
100%. It's
like,
like way different over the course of 17 games.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It's just it's an argument that's being made by people that hate Brock Purdy.
Why
that
do people hate Brock
doesn't
Purdy?
even stand up.
What is the hatred for Brock Purdy? Brad, what do you got?
I was gonna say, to be fair, Colin did say multiple times that Brock Purdy is better than Mac Jones in that clip. He just said that is he so much with what they're paying him, is he that much better than what he is? And he pretty much gave all the credit to Shanahan.
And I will agree with that from the standpoint of Kyle Shanahan. He worked his ass off yesterday to make sure to get Mac Jones in a position to play that well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of with every head coach in football. What did we say after the Vikings' first game in Chicago? Who do we give the credit to? We give the credit to McCarthy, or do we give the credit mostly to Kevin O'Connell for putting McCarthy in position and giving him the confidence to play that well in the fourth quarter? Like, that's it. You have to have a good head coach to get you in position to play well. Mac Jones is not playing. If trying to think who is one. Give me a bad NFL head coach. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but if Matt Eberflus, it was the head coach yesterday for the 49ers. Guess what? Mac Jones doesn't play that well.
Well, I don't understand. What's the point?
Kyle gets a lot of credit.
If Mac Jones goes out there and let's say he was 10 of 30 with 3 picks and they lose 31-6 to the Saints, then the take is Purdy's amazing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
the people,
but then wouldn't that eviscerate? I mean,
but people wouldn't be blaming Kyle Shanahan; they'd be blaming Mac Jones. But when Mac Jones plays well, it's all Kyle's doing.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both sides. I just look at it this way. From a 49er standpoint, they're lucky to have a good backup. And every team in the league that's dealing with quarterback issues right now probably wishes they had a backup like Mac Jones, or at least they wish they had a backup that would play like Mac Jones that he played yesterday. Because you got Jaden Daniels now hurt, Joe Burrow's hurt, Jack Browning did well. Justin Fields is hurt. Who else is hurt? There's other quarterbacks that are hurt right now, and you need to have a good backup. And the Niners have a good backup, and they might view it as we can give Brock an extra week here and see if we can win against the Cardinals next weekend, or Brock's ready to play and he goes out and plays.
It's amazing what 4 years will do. From please not Mac Jones to we got a great backup quarterback.
Please don't be Mac Jones. Please don't be Mac Jones.
Look, so there was a starter and a backup.
100%. If they gave the keys to the kingdom to Mac Jones, it'd be a bit of a problem.
Right.
But as
they
a backup,
a Super Bowl contender.
Great as a backup.
It's Jake Browning, by the way, not Jack.
Jake is the punter for San Diego State.
The Jake Browning. Yeah.
All right. On the other side, let's get into San Diego State and Cal coming up Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium. The Golden Bears coming here 3-0, riding a 5-star freshman quarterback to that record. Big test for the Aztecs coming up Saturday night. We're giving away tickets in the 4:00 hour as well for that game. Plus, coming up at 4:30, Will Brinson, CBS Sports senior NFL writer, will join the show. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer, and there's no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer with new vehicles arriving daily, including their most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, Hurry into your Toyota dealer today or make sure to head to Toyota.com. If you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota, there you can check out all the latest offers and search inventory, finding the Toyota that's just right for you. Starts at Toyota.com. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles helps to create a greener planet. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup supports a greener planet with a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, or take each day further than you thought possible in a new Camry with its stylish looks that'll make an impression wherever you go. See your Toyota dealer today and discover what makes Camry legendary. There's no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer. Get your local Toyota dealer today or Toyota.com. That's Toyota.com. Your Toyota dealers, we make it easy. All right. Is that good? The best and worst of the sports weekend coming up in 15 minutes. So get ready, Jim.
How?
I mean, this isn't, you got to improvise.
I know I will.
Like, this isn't hard. You'd be like, Manny Machado hit homers in back-to-back games. That's in your brain, right?
It is.
You have something in there. Now, the internet doesn't have to do everything for us.
I think it does.
Okay. I'll give you your three. Here, let's ruin the segment.
No, don't ruin it.
I'll give it to you off air.
I can do it, John. I'm big boy.
Mac Jones is great.
I can do it.
That's the thing, though. Let's pretend like our life is on the line.
Okay.
And we have to be able to do this to survive. Would we be able to do it?
We'd be fine.
Exactly.
But I'm just complaining because
you love to complain, which is fine.
I love to complain about something that shouldn't be this hard.
Here's the deal. Because our internet's down, do you have a suggestion in terms of how to fix it? Why don't you go back there and start plugging things in?
Okay, let me leave the show.
What's that?
Let me just leave the show.
I don't think you could do it, would be my guess. I think the issue is if they could fix it, they probably would have fixed it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why the internet isn't working, is my assumption. Wait, JJ McCarthy's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks?
Hey, you didn't see that?
Good for the Vikings. I mean, this guy, I'm sorry.
Oh, go on your JJ McCarthy rant.
I mean, you can't look worse than he looked last night. Sunday Night Football, missing open throw, holding the ball too long. Like he's had, and Collinsworth said it well yesterday. It's like he played well for a quarter,
but John,
the other 7 have been awful.
John, he's Baker Mayfield.
Well, that might be good in 7 years. Because didn't it take a handful of years for Mayfield to become Mayfield?
The thing with JJ McCarthy, and if you watched the game last night, which was ugly.
Right. Unless you like field goals.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you look at his chart. This dude can't throw the ball to his left.
Well, that could be a problem.
It is, because that was a pre-draft conversation with JJ McCarthy. He's like, hey, can he throw the ball to his left?
Well, because the field is left and right.
Right.
Like half the field is on the left side and half the field is on the right.
And he had 2 completions to the left side of the line of scrimmage, which were both little check down dump offs. Everything else was thrown to the right. I think he threw 3 total passes to the left. Everything else was to the right. Yeah.
All right. So just throw to the right.
Yeah. He'll make some nice plays, but he's got a lot of work to do. And then the high ankle sprain that he just suffered is just going to set them back even more.
Who's their backup?
Carson Wentz.
It is interesting. Like they made the point yesterday, like that, hey, you took a really good team a year ago and you handed the keys to a rookie quarterback, right? I mean, you took a really good team.
And you didn't want to sign Sam Darnold.
That's the thing. You didn't want to have another bridge year or put your football team in a better position to win potentially this year for maybe the development of JJ McCarthy. This to me might be a classic lose the battle, win a war, but how are you going to feel about it if you're a Vikings fan in 2025 and you have the pieces in place around him, but you're wasting opportunities? Like, should you be losing at home to the Falcons? Would they have lost yesterday at home to the Falcons with Sam Darnold? Would they have scored 6 points?
No. And when you are a good defense like the Vikings are, when you have a good head coach, good defensive coordinator, some really good players on that team, like the Vikings are a pretty talented roster.
Right.
And your quarterback just can't make simple throws, and he's all over the place, and he can't run an offense, and he's, the play clock is literally 0 every single time. You can't move the football.
Is that a problem?
That's a problem. And I'd bet you there's people on that team, especially on the defensive side, like, oh man, this could be an issue. And on this, going to his injury, they might be also saying right now, this actually might be better for the team, because maybe Carson Wentz can actually move the football, unlike JJ McCarthy.
I want to switch gears to the Aztecs for a moment. We do have tickets to give away in the 4:00 hour for San Diego State Cal. That'll be Saturday at 7:30 from Snapdragon. They'll honor the 2015 Mountain West Championship team for the Aztecs. On Saturday night, Rocky Long will be here. Donnell Pumphrey will be here. So that'll be a cool moment. Now, San Diego State has taken on a Cal team that has a quarterback with the hardest name to pronounce in college football. And B, has a quarterback that has been incredible. So the name of the quarterback.
Can you give me your phone so I can see the name?
Try it?
I want to try it.
You have no shot.
No shot.
You can't say Jim Russell.
I want to try it.
Try this. This is a 5-star freshman quarterback for Cal.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is the hardest name in professionals and just any sport in general. Jaron Kway?
No.
Is Jaron right?
I think.
Jaron Kway Saga Polutuli.
And there's no way that's right.
No? It's not right?
Listen, the call on Saturday night, I watched this game and now I completely forget his name, because it was Cal, Minnesota in Berkeley, and Dave Fleming was on the call. And Fleming, the entire broadcast, said his full name. Color guy kept calling him JKS because the initials are JKS. The entire game, and Dave Fleming, I want to say, called their opening game at Oregon State, said his name the entire game. Where I just threw on the Cal radio broadcast for a moment. You heard me do that. And even the Cal radio team is calling him JKS.
I do feel like for names that are very hard to pronounce, like back in the day, not many people could pronounce Tua Tagovailoa.
True, but eventually that was so household because it was Alabama.
Yes.
You got to learn Victor Wembanyama.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
100%, even more so. Yeah.
So like those are hard names. If you're looking at the name on paper, trying to pronounce it, you're screwed.
You just got to remember it.
Exactly. So I feel like that's what Dave Fleming did. Is he's not looking on the paper. Is my guess is he had to like just memorize it. And there's probably like what's the word I'm looking for? It's
pronunciation guide.
Yeah, pronunciation guide. As soon as you pronounce it right, then it sticks.
Anyway, this dude, okay, and
He's
I think
incredible.
his last name is Songapula Tele.
Songapula Tele. See,
it's not that bad when you just say Songapula Tele. I think is his last name. It's long. It's a lot of syllables.
Songapula Tele.
He is a true freshman left-handed thrower that has been remarkably impressive. They're 3-0 with a road win at Oregon State, a home win over Big Ten Minnesota. They also have a win over an FCS program at home. So they're 3-0 and they're coming here. Last year at Berkeley, Cal looked the part, and now they've got this 5-star quarterback under center. San Diego State, I think, opened as a 13.5-point underdog. It has since gone down to something like 12 points at Snapdragon Stadium. But this is going to be a very challenging game, obviously, for the Aztecs. We'll see how the bye week treats them. I mean, coming off the disappointment of Washington State, sitting on it for a week, getting a team like Cal at home, hopefully it brings the best out of San Diego State on Saturday night.
Does it concern you that North Texas,
I knew you were going to say that,
blew out Washington State by like 50 over the past weekend?
I mean, it's not ideal. I think the final was 59-10. North Texas over Washington State. Washington State, who didn't turn the ball over against the Aztecs, turned it over 5 times. I want to say 3 times inside their own 20. 3 times inside their own 20. 5 times overall. So, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, here's the thing. The Washington State game, obviously, everyone expected more out of the Aztecs. Remember, it was like a 1-point spread.
Yeah.
And they didn't play well specifically in the second half. I just hope back home with the extra week, they're able to play up to Cal is what my hope is. So you circle this game and say, we need to play up. We need to find a way to put ourselves in this football game on Saturday night. We've had 2 weeks to prepare. This is a great opportunity at home. Let's look the part.
This is me talking. This is me saying this. But if they go out and they look bad against Cal and Cal wins by, let's just say 20 points.
Okay.
All right. I am very concerned if Sean Lewis can actually turn this around.
I
feel like I know it's probably a bridge too far, but I'm sorry. We were all expecting improvement this year, were we not? And to go out and this is all hypothetical. This is an if scenario. So they could go out and they could play great. And this dumb take by me won't even mean anything. But if they go out and they don't look good against Cal, and Cal, puts up 35 points, and San Diego State once again has trouble on offense moving the football, and it looks like another game like they played against Washington State, but this time at home, I think the concern level for me will be like very high, just because we were expecting something different, and so far, if this were to happen on Saturday, it just will feel like the same old song and dance.
That's your opinion, which is fair. Your opinion is valid. I would just say the Cal game, including Boise State at home, Cal's the most talented team they're playing. There's no question Cal is the most talented team they're playing. So let's see how they look. But I think that the Cal game is not going to be like the games they're playing in the Mountain West, by and large. The games they're playing in the Mountain West, there's not a 5-star signal caller for that team. The weapons that Cal has around him, Nick Rolovich is an offensive analyst, a former head coach. Brian Harson's calling plays for them, the former Boise State head coach. My point is, like, Cal could be really good in the ACC this year. Cal could be winning 9 or 10 games this year.
Yeah, but also there's expectation of like, hey, eventually you're going to want to compete with that.
100%.
And there needs to be some improvement.
Let's see what happens this weekend. All right, on the other side, We'll see if we get our internet back. One thing that is still here is
Doubtful.
Jim sneezing.
Our internet is doubtful to return.
All right.
It might have been ruled out.
Is that good? The best and worst of the sports weekend. On the other side, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports, will join us at 4:30. It's John and Jim. We have internet, kind of. All right, here until 6 p.m. John and Jim. Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBS Sports, will join us at 4:30. If you missed Kevin Acee earlier, you'll hear a conversation with Kevin in the 5 o'clock hour. Plus, we've got tickets to give away to see San Diego State and Cal Saturday night, Snapdragon Stadium at 7:30. We'll give those away coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. How much better do you feel? Look at you, man. You got
so much
phone. You got a computer.
I just feel like feel normal again.
Right?
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm good. I could do the entire show without the internet.
I could do the entire show without the internet too.
I could do the entire show without internet and not talk about it. That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Like once something goes wrong,
Yeah.
you would not be a good NFL quarterback or coach. You'd be like, our quarterback sucks. I'm not like this game plan, throw it out the window. We threw a pick.
Yeah. No, I just like to repeatedly say when things are going wrong and to bring those things to light.
100%.
Yeah, I just like complaining.
100%.
Yeah.
That's well said.
Yep. Yeah. It's not working here. It's like, well, you know what? I'm going to blame someone else.
All right, let's get to it.
Is that good?
Wilcox, snapper, Huber, holder from 29 yards away. Oh,
You see this Colts Broncos game yesterday?
Yeah, the ending, the score.
Dude, so Colts set up for a game-winning field goal, and guy missed it. Broncos win. Wait a minute. 15-yard penalty. Broncos run into the kicker. Colts get a second chance. Colts nail the field goal. They end up winning the game. Brent, is that good?
it's no good. Are you kidding me?
It's no good for the Broncos. It's great for the Colts, but man, what a swing of events there.
The margin between winning and losing in the
Incredible.
NFL.
Incredible.
Speaking of the NFL, game one of the doubleheader tonight involves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Houston Texans. Baker Mayfield, since the start of the 2023 season, has 72 touchdown passes, second most in the NFL. Is that good?
It is good.
Isn't that insane? Second most touchdown passes in the NFL since the start of 2023, Baker Mayfield.
That's a lot.
It's crazy. 72 is a huge number.
72?
Yeah, over the last 2 years.
Well, I mean, he's just like JJ McCarthy.
No, it's been better.
He's actually, yeah, but you get my point.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, so,
Exactly.
yeah. Mac Jones, John.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. 26 of 39 yesterday, 279, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a really bad fumble that cost him points.
Like Purdy in week one.
Purdy fumbled?
Yeah. I thought Purdy fumbled in week one.
He threw 2 picks.
I was listening to the Colin promo where he said Purdy was terrible in week one. I thought he said he fumbled.
No.
Maybe threw
He
2
was,
picks.
he was talking about Sam Darnold's fumble, saying how that was a
Gotcha.
lucky fumble that benefited the 49ers,
Gotcha.
completely forgetting the fact that Nick Bosa pushed the offensive lineman right into Sam Darnold. But hey, it was lucky for the Niners. Mac Jones, 3 touchdowns yesterday, helped the 49ers beat the Saints on the road. Brent, is that good?
It is good.
I'm going to go to baseball, where the Padres will begin a series at Citi Field against the New York Mets tomorrow afternoon at 4:10. They'll be taking on a Mets team that has lost 8 of their last 9 games. Now, they did walk off yesterday, but they've lost 8 of 9. Is that good?
It's no good. Are you kidding me?
Mets reeling. Important series for both the Padres and the Mets beginning tomorrow afternoon.
John, do you know who has the best batting average in the National League since August 1st?
Let me answer that. No, I don't.
Take a guess. No guesses?
Is it a Padre?
Could be.
Is it Gavin Sheets?
Wow. Did you
Oh, he's been red hot.
Gavin Sheets since August 1st is hitting 371. That is the best batting average in the National League since that time. Brent, is that good?
It is good.
Where would they be without Gavin Sheets?
He's been huge. I mean, he really has. He had a big hit yesterday when their lead was down to 1 after it was 7 runs earlier. He's been unbelievable for this team. It was nice to see Manny Machado get back to being Manny for a couple of games. Homers in back-to-back games for Manny. Took the day off yesterday, but homering in back-to-back games for Manny Machado. He's reached 25 now again. Is that good?
It is good.
He's going to get there, isn't it? Going to get to 29 home runs.
Of course he is, dude.
He's going to get all those
Of course he
numbers.
is. Of
All those
course
numbers
he
are coming,
is.
dude.
when he sees the back of his baseball card in sight, he does everything in his power to get the back of his baseball card, the numbers, for a season.
Do you think when he walks in the clubhouse, like, is the baseball card taped somewhere, like in his locker? Like, oh, there's the back of my baseball card.
He's like, what am I at? 23. I need 5 more.
28.
28.
Or do you think when he gets home, like, are his pillows just like the pillowcase, like the back of his baseball card? It's just a rendering of it.
He just has like his trophy room, or not really trophy room, but his office has like
back of baseball.
It's like bright, shiny. Like, here's the back of your baseball card numbers, Manny.
Right? Do you collect cards? No, just the back of cards.
Just the back
of my card.
Yeah, I just make sure to get the back of my card.
So 25 homers, 88 RBIs gives him an outside shot at 30 and 100.
If he hits 3 the next 12 games, that's a good sign.
3 to get to 28, yeah, would be good. And what, 5+ RBI? He's going to finish with like 28 homers, 95 RBIs.
Yeah. Was there any doubt that Manny Machado would do everything in his power to get to his numbers in the back of his baseball card? No,
which is a good quality.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Was there any doubt that he'd be good? I mean, he had really cooled off, dude. He had really cooled off.
That's an understatement.
He's still been cooled off really since August 1st, but maybe the mini bye here, the mini All-Star break with the Sunday, Monday.
His last 2 games that he's played, he's been great.
He's been great the last 2 games. He really has.
Even though it was against the Rockies, but still.
Yeah.
Better than the alternative, which Manny is bad. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. On the other side, we'll get to the wrap. Coming up at 4:30, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports, back with us to recap week 2 in the NFL. You'll hear from Kevin Acee coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We are here until 6, and we're giving away San Diego State and Cal tickets for Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium coming up later in the 4 o'clock hour. We've got 2 free tickets to see that game this Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. Hour 3 of John and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app is next.
All right, this update's brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres have an off day today. They took 3 of 4 from the Rockies over the weekend. They are 2.5 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West, 3.5 games back of the Cubs for the 4 seed. Tonight, Dodgers are at home in LA taking on the Phillies. Cubs on the road taking on the Pirates. And we have a double header tonight from Monday Night Football. Bucks and Texans about to kick off in Houston. And then later tonight, Raiders Chargers in Las Vegas, 7 p.m. kickoff time. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine. To help save time and money down the road, restrictions do apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of John and Jim. Later this hour, we'll give away a pair of tickets to San Diego State and Cal football Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium. Tickets are available at goaztecs.com. Of course, you can hear that game right here on San Diego Sports 760 at 7:30, with pregame coverage beginning at 5:30. Also coming up at 4:30 today, Will Brinson back with us. Senior NFL writer, CBS Sports Will Brinson will be joining us weekly on Monday afternoon. So Will Brinson will join us coming up at 4:30. If you missed Kevin Acey, you'll hear a conversation with Kevin in the 5 o'clock hour. Padres off day. What can go wrong? Our show. That's what can go wrong.
Yes.
That's what can
You
go
know what? I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to say anything.
Yes, you will.
No, I won't. I'm done. I'm done talking about how the internet here sucked, and I'm done talking about how I'm done.
Let's get to it.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Who's tonight a bigger game for, the Chargers or the Raiders?
I think it's the Chargers. I do. I know the Raiders are at home, so you could go that route, but I think tonight, if you want to be placed in the top tier of the AFC, starting 2-0, but starting 2-0 against division opponents on the road, that's huge. It's a big accomplishment for your team to start off the year on the right foot. I know it's technically designated as a home game because they played in Brazil as the home team. Give me a break. They're on the road. So I think it means more tonight for the Chargers, actually, than the Raiders. The Raiders are at home.
Yeah, I think it's a good point, because are the Raiders going to be a legitimate AFC threat? Like, are they going to be a team that could make a deep postseason push, even if they start 2-0? The one thing with the Chargers is they could be that team to take the step forward in 2025 under Jim Harbaugh. In order to do that, you need to win a game like this when you're favored on the road against a division rival. So we'll see if they take that step forward or not. Tonight, next question.
Can the Bengals overcome Joe Burrow missing 3 months due to turf toe?
This season actually might be over, by the way. Like 3 months, I think, is generous. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but who's their backup? Is it Jack? It's Jake. Jake Browning. Well, I always want to say Jack. Jake Browning. They're going to win some football games just because they got talent. They got weapons everywhere on offense. But let's be real here. Browning is not Burrow. So I will say they can, but they're not going to be a threat in the AFC.
Yeah, like I think the answer, I think most Bengals fans heading into the year, when you've had a quarterback already lead you to a Super Bowl, your expectations are you can contend. Yeah, okay, you're behind the Buffaloes and Baltimores, but maybe you're one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the AFC, not without Joe Burrow. You're not one of the top 3 teams in the AFC without Joe Burrow. So maybe he comes back and leads them somewhere if they can get to the postseason without him, but that's a massive loss. I mean, to lose one of the top handful of starters in the NFL in week 2 for maybe the year is just a massive loss for the Bengals. Next question.
Is the Chiefs' dominance in the AFC over?
Probably a little too early to say that, but I watch the Chiefs and I don't see a team that is going to compete for a Super Bowl. Like, I don't see it. So with that, I'll say, yeah, I think going forward, again, like I said, it's too early, but I don't see it with the Chiefs right now. I just don't.
Looking at their schedule, Giants on the road, followed by Ravens at home. So they have to beat the Giants on the road. And can they beat the Ravens at home? And if they can't, they're well behind the 8 ball.
They're 1-3 if that happens.
Yes. If they can't beat the Ravens, then they get the Jaguars on the road, home for the Lions. I mean, maybe they can navigate. I don't know.
The Lions game, Lions are great indoors. I would bet you the Lions go 8-0 at home this year.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, the road might be a problem for them.
Yeah, and they'll be in Kansas City. But yeah, I mean, you look at that Ravens-Chiefs game. If they can't win that game, they're starting this year 1-3 at best, and that would be off a win over the Giants next weekend. Next question:
Should the tush push be banned?
I don't know if it should be banned, but it should be tweaked. Like there has to be rules and regulations that are put in place that can't happen like what happened yesterday. You can't have as many offsides in the center over the football and guys lining up in the neutral zone, like for nothing to be called, and it to benefit the Eagles every single time. Like that, something's got to change there, right?
Yeah, something has to change. I agree. I don't know if it's the way the play is run or if they just get rid of the play. You brought up a good point. I mean, can you really eliminate the entirety of the play if a team is in a 4th and inches or 3rd and inches situation? I mean, isn't that basically the sneak? Well, the QB sneak.
Well, the way that it will be eliminated this year is if what happened yesterday
is called,
which is going to be sent to the league office. How could it not? It was everywhere. It was on national television. Tom Brady's calling it out. Like the league has seen this. So if the league saw it, then the referees will then know about it. And the way that it's going to be eliminated is if every time they line up, the refs just throw a flag because of how they're running the tush push.
And like, I think you made the point earlier. I agree. Like, it's not overly entertaining watching it. Like the NFL, this wide open sport predicated on offense and big plays. It's a scrum.
Did you hear what Dean Blandino said?
No.
He's like, I think it was towards the end of the game. And he mentioned, he mentioned how much he hated the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
And he's their
head like official for TV.
Yeah.
And he just hates the play. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that hate the play. I just don't think it's a very attractive play. You're watching football every Sunday with these like spread formations, right? You're watching 50 points be scored in games, right? And then you're watching 11 on 11 for an inch.
It's like the way the Padres play baseball, just bunting
honestly,
their way from station to station and bringing the game back to like the 1950s.
A little bit of it. Honestly, there's a little bit of that in there. Now, if it works, it works. I mean, are Eagles fans complaining about winning the Super Bowl? Let me answer it. No.
No, they're not.
And are Padres fans going to complain if they can win in the postseason playing small ball? No, absolutely not.
And I could tell you if I was an Eagles fan, I would say the same thing. Like, hey, it's not illegal.
Yep.
You can't stop it. F you. Like that's how I would view it if I was a fan.
The other teams can run it. They all have off seasons.
Yep.
They all can run it if they want to run it. And some have to some extent, but nobody's run it the way Philadelphia has the last 2 years.
Dude, watching yesterday, half these teams can't even run a normal sneak, let alone the tush push.
Yeah.
The Bears failed they had 3rd and inches and 4th and inches on back-to-back plays. They couldn't get a sneak on either one. And last night, JJ McCarthy had that sneak he tried and he like lost a yard on it.
Yeah.
So a lot of these teams can't just run the basic version, not, to mention the complicated, tush push version of it.
It's just how they line up. You've seen quarterback sneaks a million times in the NFL. Tom Brady was fantastic at quarterback sneaks. It's the way that they line up, creating a rugby type of formation where everybody's like basically like on their like forearms.
Yeah, they're so low to the ground.
They're so low to the ground. And it's like a push. That's what it is. So I call it tush push. It's like it's a push play.
Yeah.
It's a rugby play where you're just, they have to change that aspect of it. Because if they change that aspect of it, then and if teams still can't stop the Eagles doing a quarterback sneak, then okay. But the way that the Eagles line up, it shouldn't be legal.
Would you agree though that and I agree with that, but would you agree that if it's so good, you've heard this argument so much. I mean, No other team can do the same thing with all these 300-pound. No other team can do it. It's just Philadelphia has perfected it, and it can't be.
Well, no one has
run
Jalen Hurts.
effectively.
Jalen Hurts
Yeah,
is
but
a
there's
one
other
of one.
amazing mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. He is not the most athletic quarterback in the NFL.
My guess is the Eagles practiced that play more than anybody in the league would want to even attempt to practice that play. They found a loophole. Good for them. They perfected this play. Good for them. The league tried to get it banned, or at least other teams tried to get it banned. But I do agree that if it did get banned, then there would be a lot of gray area with quarterback sneaks. A lot. And I think that's a problem for the league. There has to be a clear-cut definitive. You can do this, but you can't do this. And one thing you can't do is you can't line up the way the Eagles line up on tush pushes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to think, like in other sports, when someone does something really well, do you change the rule? Like when you had, like, you're going back 75 years, but like someone in the lane, like Will Chamberlain in the lane. Okay, you can't just sit in the lane. So now there's a 3-second in the lane.
You can't. The way they need to change it is you have to line up a certain way, and you can't line up the way the Eagles line up. And the way they line up, it's a rugby play. You can have bunch formation and everybody on the line ready for a quarterback sneak, but the way they run it and where they line up, like watch a normal play and then watch the tush push.
Yeah, I know.
That's where the illegal part comes in my mind, how they should change it.
Yeah, I want to hear what Will Brinson, who's going to join us at 4:30, has to say, because it's been so controversial now for so long, yet nothing's going to be done about it this year. Now, to your point, maybe it's officiated differently because it goes to the league and all of a sudden
everyone's getting false starts.
Yeah, I mean, that would change it because what makes them so good on this is it's always 4th and a yard or 3rd and a yard or whatever it is, right? They're not running it 4th and 6. They're not even attempting it, obviously. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious to hear what Will Brinson has to say about it. He will join us coming up at 4:30, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Will Brinson will join us each and every Monday right here on San Diego Sports 760. We have the rare Monday Night Football doubleheader underway between the Texans and the Buccaneers. And then coming up later at 7, you can hear it on San Diego Sports 760, Chargers and Raiders from Las Vegas. Are you a proponent of Monday Night Football doubleheaders?
No.
I don't like them either.
I don't.
I feel like games are at such a premium that Monday is kind of for a standalone game, not to start a game at 10 o'clock Eastern, for example.
There are the good thing about this doubleheader is they're not overlapping.
True.
We've had overlaps.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
I hate
past.
the overlapping.
The overlapping is ridiculous. More football. I guess people aren't going to complain that much about it, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's more football. I mean, they could have one additional game on Sunday, but yeah, it's more football tonight. 6 hours as opposed to 3.
For me, it just depends on who the games are. If they're going to give us 2, Thursday night football, times 2, then no, I don't need to see that, twice on a Monday. But if we're going to get 2 quality matchups on a Monday, then yeah, I would be for it.
No, we're getting Bucks, Texans, Raiders, Chargers tonight on Monday Night Football.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. We'll switch gears back to the Padres on the other side. The importance of this 3-game series and 6-game road trip that gets underway tomorrow night against the Mets at Citi Field. And Will Brinson will join us at 4:30. Then later this hour, your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs take on Cal this Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is John and Jim for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. And again, the hotel and spa at Jamul Casino Resort is now open. It is the next level of luxury. You can treat yourself. They've got a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments we've been telling you about. All the thrills of Hamul Casino Resort now all in one unforgettable destination.
And join them every Monday in September for a chance to win big with 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Your odds, they're better than ever. Your Onyx players are going to receive an extra $500 cash bonuses on top of their winnings. Plus, earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners. A chance to win up to $100,000 in cash. Again, this is Monday Night Live, $100,000 punch out. This is a promotion that you will not want to miss.
And you'll love Hamul 23, endless dining every day. Savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Hamul 23 at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates all our $5,000 winners. And iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference, and maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Will Brinson will join us in 10 minutes. Padres are off today. They'll be at Citi Field in New York, taking on the Mets tomorrow. Game one of a 3-game series. We will see Michael King on the road. King's second start since returning from the IL. I think a lot of people thought his first start, considering circumstances, was pretty good. He hadn't appeared by and large in 3 months, and he gave him enough length. I think it was 5 innings overall. He allowed 2 runs, both on home runs. But remember, also was saved of a 2-run home run by Fernando Tatis Jr. Brilliant play in right center field. So we talked to Kevin about this. Do you think we're getting closer to reins being off with Michael King, even with it being just his second start since coming back off the IL?
Well, run out of time here.
3 starts left,
At
including tomorrow.
I think the time is now. Hey, You got 3 starts to get ready for the postseason. You're probably going to be our game 2 starter unless something changes, which I don't know what would. So yeah, let's treat this thing like we're getting you going. First start, pitch. We had a pitch limit on. You did great. I think it was 5 innings. What 60?
No pitches.
He did not throw any. I mean, it was
like you said, 62, 63, something like that.
It was 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs,
63 pitches,
2 strikeouts. So now, the reins are off. Just go out there and just pitch like you normally would. We're not going to have a pitch limit on you or an innings limit on you because we need you to get fully ready for the postseason. That's how I view it with Michael King.
Yeah, I mean, so May 18th he goes out, right? Because he sleeps on his neck wrong. And since then, he's thrown 57 pitches and 63 pitches. That's it. So since May 18th, he's thrown I think he'll have a pitch count definitely tomorrow. Coming off a 63 pitch, I'd be shocked if he went more than like 82 pitches tomorrow.
Well, it's also
I don't think he's back to 100 pitches.
It's also the stress pitches that if he's through 3 innings like 75 pitches, then they're
done.
They're done.
Yep.
But that's the case for most guys.
True. Yep.
So yeah, it's about the innings, stress, all that stuff. Like if he's through 6, but he's at like 71 pitches through 6, and I think they would let him go
into a 7th inning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Me too, because
it's 71 pitches.
Come on, you got to let this guy go. I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there. But yeah, I think that if he pitches well tomorrow, that's a very good sign going forward for this team.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially on the road, especially against a playoff caliber team.
Yeah.
Again, his first outing, I thought a lot of people were like, man, he was terrific. I thought he was good because he didn't throw a lot of pitches, but the truth is he allowed 2 home runs. And it should have been 3.
Yeah.
If not for Tatis.
Yeah. Right.
And that was again that they lost to the Reds at home. So, I mean, a big part of their postseason chances are going to be on the arm of Michael King. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Like we've talked about this for weeks on end, that you can't have Michael King being average probably in the postseason and expecting to get to a World Series. I think you need Michael King looking like the pitcher that we saw maybe in the first 8 or 9 or 10 starts this year or last year. Because if this is who he's going to be, given 60 or so pitches, given a chance to only go 4 or 5 innings, I think they're going to need more from King this postseason. And I don't know if there's enough time for him to prove that he's capable of giving them more than that.
I think pretty definitive statement is they're not winning a World Series without Michael King.
Right.
I don't think that would happen. Like if Michael King does not pitch up to his standard, I don't think they're going to win a World Series. I can't trust Dylan Cease or Yu Darvish in the postseason right now to an extent of like, hey, those guys have been moved up to the, second most important starter on the team. A healthy Pivetta and a healthy Michael King, that's how you're going to win here. And look, I'll go to any series with a healthy Pivetta, healthy King pitching well.
Yeah,
against anybody. But if King is not going to be pitching well, or if he's not healthy, then major problems.
Yeah, it would be. I agree. And he's got this short period of time, like you said. I mean, you can't really ramp up when the postseason starts in a couple of weeks. But it also, like, to me, feels a little bit like I was watching the TV broadcast, I think, with Darvish, whenever that was. They're like, well, he didn't have it's like his spring training is like his season.
I know.
There was no spring training. He was hurt. He came back in the middle of the year, and maybe that explains some of his struggles. And then with King, we're basically asking him not to experience those struggles. Now, he was a much younger pitcher. He was dealing with a different injury. But I just wonder if it's as simple as just flip that switch with Michael King. Make 2 starts since May 18th and look like the pitcher you were last postseason.
Well, he's got 3. He got 3 left.
3 left. But I mean, Yu Darvish has made 10 plus starts. He still doesn't look like Yu Darvish.
Well, also, Yu Darvish has messed up elbow.
True, but Michael King's been injured for most of the year.
True.
He just had an arthroscopic knee drain.
I'd rather have an arthroscopic knee drain than a messed up elbow.
True, but he also had the neck.
Yeah, but okay, you're right.
He's been dealing with stuff. Is kind of my point. He has. All right. Good stuff. All right. On the other side, Will Brinson will join us. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports. will join us. He's going to join us each and every week here on San Diego Sports 760 on Mondays, recapping each week in the NFL. We can look at it tonight as well because the Raiders and Chargers will play in Las Vegas later on here tonight. So we're going to catch up with Will Brinson on the other side. In addition, coming up later this hour at 4:45, we'll get back to Trainwreck Radio. We'll give away a pair of tickets to see San Diego State and Cal Saturday night at Snapdragon Stadium. So be listening for your opportunity to win those tickets to see San Diego State and Cal. In addition to that, we do want to remind you football is back. So is your chance to cash in like never before with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Your game day instincts can score you real money fast.
Download the Pick 6 app. DraftKings is the easiest way to play fantasy. All you got to do is use our code SD760. Again, our code SD760.
All right, so it's Monday Night Football. Again, the first game is underway. But what do you got for later tonight when the Chargers take on the Raiders in Vegas?
I like 2 plays. Ashton Genty, more than a half rushing or receiving touchdown, and Justin Herbert, more than 256.5 passing yards.
Genty got in the end zone in week 1, although struggled to run the football. And Herbert looked the part in Brazil in week 1.
Absolutely. So those are my plays tonight.
All right, Genty, Moore, and also Herbert Moore tonight in Jim's DraftKings Pick 6. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code SD760. That's code SD760. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Will Brinson, senior writer for CBS Sports, talking week 2 in the NFL next on John and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres have an off day today. They start a 3-game series in New York against the Mets tomorrow night. Padres are 2.5 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West, and 3.5 games back of the Cubs for the 4 seed in the wild card race. Monday Night Football underway right now, part of a doubleheader. Texans have just taken a 10-7 lead over the Buccaneers with 3:25 left in the first quarter there. And later tonight, 7 p.m., Raiders and Chargers in Las Vegas. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions do apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Great to catch up with Will Brinson. Back with us, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, NFL, of course, back. We're recapping week 2, looking ahead to tonight as well with a couple of Monday night games, including Chargers and Raiders. Will Brinson, CBS Sports senior NFL writer, back with us in San Diego. Will, it's been too long. Thanks for hopping back on. We're looking forward to having you throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, pumped to do it again, guys. Good to talk to you. We've got it's pretty unusual for there to be NFL football on a Monday with it being light on the East Coast. But here we go, a bit of an early shootout between the Buccaneers and the Texans.
All right, now you know how we feel when football starts during the daytime.
Yeah,
or the game starts at 4 o'clock for y'all. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Or like the baseball games when your team is in St. Louis and the games are like 3:40 in the afternoon or at 10 in the morning when your team is out east. Let's actually start there. Let's start there, Will. The Monday night double headers. Are you a fan of those? Why or why not?
The older I get, and the more fatherly I become, I think the less a fan I am of them. I used to love, back in the old days at AOL, we used to stay up and live blog the second Monday night game, and it's like you're just delirious and like floating out of your brain watching, like Mike Greenberg called Rams Raiders or something like that. I don't mind it as much when they move the time up on the first one and stagger it. But yeah, 10 o'clock, I don't mind it. I'll take all the extra football I can get. You can bet on it. You can play some DFS. If it's a bad game, second half of Raiders Chargers, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a good game. Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll. These guys hate had the weirdest rivalry ever. Remember Harbaugh when he came to Stanford and went for 2 for no reason and run it up on USC, and they get to midfield and Pete Carroll's like, "What's your deal?"
Right.
So I'm excited for that. Hopefully it's a good game. As long as it's good football, I don't mind staying up to watch it.
So yesterday, the matchup of the weekend going into week 2 was Eagles-Chiefs. The game didn't really live up to the hype. It was kind of I don't want to say a bad game. It just wasn't exciting. 2017 final score, the tush push coming out of that game, the main talking point. I wanted to talk about the Chiefs, though. 0-2, how concerned should you be if you're a Chiefs fan?
I think you're pretty concerned because, the division looks like it's going to be really, really tough. The Chargers beat him in week 1, obviously, and Herbert looked fantastic. We'll know more about the state of things with which team is 2-1 or 1-1, which team is 2-0 between the Chargers and the Raiders later tonight. But, you've got another 4 weeks before Rashee Rice is back. Hollywood Brown has been banged up, throughout the offseason and then got hurt again last week. Tyquan Thornton's your number 1 deep threat. It's just they haven't been an explosive team down the field since Tyreek Hill left. I realize they won plenty of games since Tyreek Hill left, but the offense has just been different. They can win with defense. They face the defending champ, a really good Eagles team, but offensively, I always liken the Chiefs in this dynastic run to the Patriots. There were times when the Patriots offense would completely stagnate for a year at a time. I'm not even going to mention when they had, it was the Marlon McCree years, they had Rashae Caldwell as their number 1 receiver. And they would still manage to get it done. It's just a different, you have these expectations that are so high, and I just don't know if the Chiefs are going to beat them. Last year, they won almost all of their one-score games. They're like 7-2 or 9-2 or something like that in one-score games. They're already 0-2 to start the season. That sort of luck generally goes back to the median. And so, I definitely think they're a playoff team, and I think they'll get going on offense once they get more pieces. But right now, yeah, I think your worryometer needs to be, in like north of 5 when it comes to the Chiefs, particularly with their offense.
I think it's completely fair. Will Brinson, CBS Sports senior NFL writer, with us right now. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Obviously, one of the storylines coming out of this game, it's been a storyline for the last couple of years, is the tush push. Will there be renewed criticism or focus on this play after the way it transpired yesterday with the Eagles and the missed false starts, for example?
Yeah, I think that's going to be I think this Rams game is really interesting because if I'm Sean McVay, I'm making a call to the NFL headquarters and saying, look, and I can't remember if the Rams voted against it or for it, but, they could be like, look, we're not opposed to the idea of the tush push, but, you need to have the officials watching these guards because they're jumping very early. And I mean, that's, the reality of it is like, it's just not like, it's what, like, I don't oppose the tush push. I think it's great that they figured out a way to, attack opposing defenses on short yardage situations in a way that is unstoppable and perfectly legal within the rules. Now, what they did yesterday several times, not legal, right? It's not legal to false start and pick up that yard. So I think this game this week against a very good Rams team that has looked sharp the first 2 weeks of the season, particularly on defense, very interesting to see how the refs kind of adjudicate that, because I would expect there to be a heightened interest in what the offensive linemen are doing, both from the league office, from the Rams, and then also from the officials on the field. And if all of a sudden, you get a third down tush push and you get a false start, that changes everything about the game for the Eagles and their opponent.
So it's not off to a good start here for Ben Johnson and the Bears. Yesterday, just giving up a 50 burger to the Lions. The whole thing with Caleb Williams meshing well with Ben Johnson. What's your view on, the quarterback head coach to the first 2 games of the season?
So I'll say this. I did the Circa Millions this year with some buddies, and we had the Bears. We were looking to go 4-1. I had the Bears on Monday night in week 1. And like to collapse like that, and then on top of that, to like not kick it out of bounds when you could have, saved that timeout and gotten the ball back for some decent time. That was pretty infuriating as a guy who's supposed to be, I realize it's your first game, Monday Night Football. You've never been a head coach, you're calling plays, but like you got to be more prepared than that. And this week, I'm not gonna chalk it up too much. I actually thought Caleb looked pretty good, and Romadunze was awesome.
Yeah.
The Lions minus 5.5. I think it probably got up to 6 or 6.5. That was my best bet of the entire week, because all the entire offseason and then the entire week after they lost to a really good Green Bay defense was that the Lions couldn't do anything on offense without Ben Johnson. And then they got Ben Johnson at home to open, and they dropped a 50 burger on his head, as you said. I mean, it's I think the height probably a little premature, but Caleb definitely looks a lot better than he did last year, just in terms of decision making. There's a lot of still errant throws. He's got to clean up a bunch, but he's often likened to Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes didn't start his entire first year until week 17, right? Andy Reid put him in quarterback school and let him refine things. And Caleb was forced to get out there and play in year 1 under a just disastrous coaching situation. And so I think we got to give Ben Johnson some time. Certainly the first 2 weeks, not what you would want, collapsing against one division rival and then getting blown out by the other. But, you see enough from the offense that you feel better about it. The offensive line's just a problem, and clearly the defense, ravaged with injuries in the secondary, isn't there to slow anybody down just yet. So I'm cautiously optimistic on Caleb.
Will Brinson with us right now, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. So another young quarterback, same class, missed all of last year due to injury, J.J. McCarthy. I mean, Chris Collinsworth last night, extremely critical of the Vikings young quarterback. Of course, he had that comeback against the Bears that we talked about in the opener. is there any concern for you? There's been one great quarter from JJ McCarthy. There's been 7 bad quarters from JJ. Now he's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. But what's your level of concern with him moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, I will not, it's not the same thing as the Ben Johnson stuff, but I mean, Kevin O'Connell, you get San Diego knows Kevin O'Connell well, right? I mean, this guy is a quarterback whisperer, and you've seen some frustration from him on the sidelines, I think, with some of JJ's decision making. The guy's got an absolute hose, though. He's, can run, has won a national championship, played the highest level, not asked to be an air raid type of guy or wing it around type of guy, but I don't know that they want him to be that. I think the injuries, maybe the biggest concern, right? You missed the entire first season. You struggle 7 to 8 quarters really to start your career, and now you're going to miss some more time. It would be crazy not to be concerned about it, for sure. What we saw in week 1 in the second half, I think speaks to his upside. But, if you can't, like Bill Parcells said, the best ability is availability. And if you can't get on the field, and if you can't get on the field, it's hard to practice, right? And it's hard to improve, it's hard to grow. And so I think that's probably the biggest concern for me with JJ McCarthy. I sort of will ride my implicit trust of Kevin O'Connell and his ability to develop quarterbacks and get the most out of signal callers before I give up on him. But yeah, absolutely a red flag with him right now.
So I feel like yesterday with the 49ers and Mac Jones, that was Kyle Shanahan's like, see, I told you game for the whole Mac Jones movement that was back in 2021.
John Lynch.
Yeah, take that. And everybody in the front office said I was stupid that wanted to draft Mac Jones. But look, Brock Purdy could miss a couple more weeks here. What's your take on the 49ers and where they're positioned? They're dealing with injuries once again. But still, I mean, Mac Jones looks like he can hold down the fort here until Brock Purdy returns. You're not of the mindset that, of course they could just, Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, same player, right?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, Brock Purdy, last pick in the draft, right? Mr. Irrelevant. And Kyle Shanahan turned him into a guy that is, has been an MVP candidate the last couple of years. So we saw Nick Mullins. I think the stat is like Patrick Mahomes with the second most passing yards to start a career, and he's behind Nick Mullins with the 49. It's something ridiculous like that, right? And so like I'm not. We bet the 49ers yesterday in that contest at like -3 because just the idea that Mac Jones, if he were somewhere else, maybe doesn't get it done, but with Kyle Shanahan running things, you can see how that would operate. And I think if you're San Francisco, I don't think it's like, all right, screw it, it's Mac's job. Like we're out on Brock Purdy. I think it's okay. Mac is playing well enough that we can be patient with Brock Purdy and make sure he's 100% healthy. And we'll see if that carries over multiple weeks. But, the Rangers started 2-0 and look really, really strong in that division. Seattle's got a great defense. Arizona out to a 2-0 start. They're just a very bizarre team. The way that they kind of like dominated the Saints and the Panthers, but not really. It's a tough division. If Matt plays like this, though, I think they'll be willing to let it ride for a little bit. But just given how much they paid Brock Purdy, I would be shocked if there's actually any type of controversy on that front.
It's got to be Mac Jones moving forward. They beat the Saints.
Back or bust. Yeah,
exactly.
Will
Brinson, back in Dynasty. I'm curious.
Will, appreciate you doing it, man. CBS Sports senior NFL writer. He'll be with us each and every Monday afternoon right here on John and Jim San Diego Sports 760. Will, enjoy the games tonight. We'll do it again next Monday, all right?
Yeah, hope for it. Talk to you guys this week.
I appreciate it. Again, Will Brinson, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see San Diego State and Cal Saturday night, Snapdragon Stadium. San Diego State and Cal, 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs and the Golden Bears at Snapdragon Stadium. Call right now if you want those tickets. The number to call is 877-767-4760. First 2 callers will be our contestants for trivia. Great giveaway. 2 free tickets to the Aztecs and the Golden Bears. You need to call right now. 877-767-4760. That's 877-767-4760. Trainwreck Radio on the other side. Kevin Acee in the 5 o'clock hour. It's John and Jim. All right, John and Jim, if you missed Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, will hear that conversation coming up at 5 p.m. So we'll get to that on the other side of a break. We also have more giveaways for you in the 5 o'clock hour. We have free tickets to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett, September 23rd at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. That show's coming up in 8 days, next Tuesday, September 23rd. So we'll give those away in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll hear from Kevin Acee in about 10 minutes. But right now, let's play for a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants, we have Ted and we have Carrie. Ted, you called in first, so you have your choice of John or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
I'll go with Jim.
Ted and Jim.
All right, Ted and Jim. Carrie, you get John, okay?
Nice.
All right, perfect.
Nice.
Brent, what's the question of the day?
Hey guys, coming into today, there were 7 quarterbacks that have thrown for 500 yards or more through the first 2 games of the NFL season. Today's question: name any of those 7 quarterbacks that have thrown for at least 500 yards through the first 2 games.
All right, Carrie, you're up first. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
It's just this season, right?
Just this season.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh
I will say I'll use the lifeline to start off.
Oh,
Here's the
okay.
lifeline for the first. I will give you Dak Prescott of the Cowboys.
Dak Prescott, do you take it?
Let's take it.
Boom.
All right, here we go. Ted, you're up next. What is your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I think I'll go with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Oh. Okay, Carrie, you're up. What is your second guess? You do not have a lifeline, so it's all up to you. What do you got?
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew
That's
Stafford. Not a bad guess. Actually,
All right.
that's a great guess.
Great guess.
Got it right there. Ted, you're going to need this to stay in the game here. What is your next guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'm going to save the lifeline. Let's go with Goff.
Jared Goff. Goff
All right.
on the list. Carrie could walk off here, though, with the correct answer. You don't have a lifeline, so this is all up to you. What do you got?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson on the list.
For the win.
Wow.
Russell Wilson for the win.
That was my lifeline, too, because I
Was
think he
it?
might be leading the league because he had like 450 yards passing yesterday.
Is he leading, Brett?
He is.
All right. So who's on this list of 7? This does not include, obviously, the 4 teams that haven't finished their second game, these
Right.
Monday night games, but who's on this list of 7?
All right, Russ is number 1. He's thrown for 618 yards
Wow.
in 2 games. Believe it or not, Daniel Jones is number 2. He's thrown for 588. Then Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, then Matt Stafford, Josh Allen, and Drake May.
Drake
is
May.
number 7.
Drake May's 7th on the list.
Wow.
All right. So
What a
those
list
are your,
that is.
what a list through 2 weeks, having thrown for 500 or more yards.
Aaron Rodgers is 12th, by the way.
12th. All right. Congratulations. You've won a pair of tickets to the Aztecs Saturday night. Take on the Cal Golden Bears Saturday at 7:30. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. Our pregame coverage is going to begin at 5:30. Kickoff at 7:30 for San Diego State and Cal. And if you didn't win today, we'll have more chances to win those tickets. San Diego State and Cal coming up throughout the course of the week. So we're watching game 1 of this doubleheader where the Bucks lead the Texans in the second quarter 14-10. What do you make of this showdown tonight between the Bucks and Texans?
The Bucks were a lot of people's like sneaky play to be really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of buying into it from the standpoint of like their offense is loaded.
Right.
Who's that receiver from Ohio State that they got in the first round this year?
Oh,
I can't pronounce his name. I drafted him in fantasy football. I should know this too, by the way. I'm an idiot.
you should know it, and I should know it because it's college football.
Is it?
Are you talking about? You are talking about who?
I'm talking about MK
Emeka Ibuka.
MK Emeka. I'm an idiot.
Emeka Ibuka.
Emeka. Yeah.
Is how it's pronounced.
Like Ibuka.
Yep.
He says that's a tough name for me.
Did he have 2 touchdowns? He's got 2.
No, 2 touchdowns in week 1.
Yeah.
He's got receiving touchdown again tonight.
That's a big start.
Baker Mayfield, you saw the stats, really good. We'll see how their defense holds up. But they might be a top offense in the league this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
If they stay healthy.
No doubt. Trying to get to 2-0 with a road win tonight. They won at Atlanta in week 1, which means they'd be 2-0 with 2 road wins before they get the Jets next week. So a chance to potentially get to 3-0 should they win in Houston on Monday Night Football. All right, we'll switch gears. Kevin Ace, your Padres insider. If you missed him earlier with the latest on the Padres, who have 12 games to play in the regular season, is there an opportunity for more than just the number 5 seed in the NL playoffs? Kevin Acee from the Big Apple on the other side. Plus, we'll give away a pair of tickets to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett. This will be September 23rd, a week from tomorrow at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll give those tickets away in the 5 o'clock hour. Tickets and info available at Ticketmaster.com. But Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, on the other side to kick off hour 4 of John and Jim. That's next on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Monday Night Football doubleheader underway. Bucks at Texans. Bucks lead the Texans 14-10 with 7:32 left in the first half. Chargers and Raiders. Game 2 of the doubleheader tonight in Las Vegas. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. And the Padres, they have an off day today. They start a 3-game series and a 6-game road trip, their final road trip of the regular season tomorrow night in New York, where Michael King will make the start. Padres trail the Dodgers by 2.5 games in the National League West and 3.5 games of the Cubs. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions do apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Taking care of business in America's finest city.
It's driven to deep left center field, off the bat of Machado, and gone. Fly ball headed out towards deep right center field. It is gone. 2-run home run for Fernando Tatis Jr. Padres take a 3-1 lead.
The Padres take 3 of 4 from the Rockies, still 2.5 back of the Dodgers. Now it's a trip to the Big Apple versus the Mets. Gotta keep it going for the faithful.
To left field, struck pretty well. Moniak going back at the wall. It's gone. Jackson Merrill, the 3-run home run, opposite field.
Plus week 2 in the NFL. We'll talk about it live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of John and Jim. We will give away some tickets this hour. Got those tickets to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett next Tuesday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, so we'll give those away. We've got our systems operating theoretically, so we might hear from Ken Rosenthal on his incident this weekend coming up later this hour. We may hear as well from Colin Cowherd later this hour, but let's start with our conversation with Kevin Acee, who joined us earlier. And if you missed it, we started by asking Kevin if he resigned himself to the fact that it appears as if the Padres are destined for the number 5 seed in the NL playoffs.
I mean, if you start to do the math, and it's been about a week, but I've felt this way, but now I think it's, you start to do the math, and it's like, for it to change, take some pretty drastic results by the Padres, combined with by the Cubs or Dodgers, and or the Padres and then like the Mets or Giants or I guess the Reds or Diamondbacks. But it takes these like incredible swings where one team does really good and one team, the other right team does really bad, or vice versa. And so, pretty sure that 5 versus 4 Padres at Cubs is a pretty safe bet. But like we just said this, and based on what the last 6 months have brought us, like they're going to end up being the 3 seed hosting the Giants.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's baseball. It's unpredictable. And there's still 12 games remaining for the Padres. So, I mean, a lot could happen or nothing could happen. That's kind of where we're at right now. How do you view this past weekend, Kevin? Taking 3 of 4 from the Rockies, that's good. Friday night, bad. Some players that were ice cold, heating up, good. Or, how do you view this past week and like, oh, this is a good sign. You saw Manny play well. He got an off day. Jackson Merrill, his power's returning. Fernando Tatis Jr. played really well. That's good. Or do you view it as, it's the Rockies. I got to see it versus everybody else.
If they feel good, then it's good. Like that's what I'll say first off. I'll say that, it stinks. I would say that 2 of the pitchers they threw, at least 2, the Friday, Saturday guys, are good pitchers, and it stinks for them. They have to pitch for the Rockies and pitch at Coors Field because we don't know how good. And then all of a sudden they get down and they can have games like that. Take a look at that kid, McCade Brown, and what he's done to some really good teams this year. Look at. They should have swept the series. They should have hit better. They should have been playing better for a long time. I want to make sure that I'm not, making it's coming across like I'm saying they're playing great, and that winning 5 of 8 means that you would win 101 games. Just checking to see if you guys listen to the press conferences over the weekend.
I listened to one. I couldn't listen to both, but I got where you're going.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying, look, let's set the stage. It's been bad, and we got a lot to talk about. But like, they took 3 of 4 from the Rockies. Jackson Merrill's actually looked good for a while, and now we're talking about 8 games, 8 extra base hits, and the stroke is back, and the confidence is back. That's big, man. He got, I thought, man, like it couldn't have been better. The home runs, the singles were good. The walks were good. Like, oh, okay, gosh, he hadn't looked like that in a while. So, like, it's really good. They beat the Rockies. I mean, I don't know what else. It's better to beat them at sea level than beat them at Coors Field, I guess, in terms of, you played some real baseball. But, now they play the Mets, and I think this is a really neat September series.
And take it for what you will. The run differential thing this year for the Padres, they're plus 63 on the year, but they're plus 52 against the Rockies this season. So it's like
incredible.
It's kind of take it for what it is, I guess. Yeah.
Kevin Aces or Padres
incredible. Like how much didn't they score more against the Rockies? Like the best record against the Rockies. They scored more against the Rockies maybe than ever. Like, yeah, it's real lopsided. But you know what? We were discounting their 10-3 against the Giants, and look what the Giants are doing. So, it's baseball.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, I think, are 11-2 against the Rockies this year. So it's a part of it. The Padres aren't the only team to take advantage of the Rockies on their schedule in 2025. Kevin Acey is with us from New York. What about this bullpen, Kevin? I mean, from where they were August 1st, where it was being described as a super pen, to now losing multiple pieces and then watching leads just evaporate. Even in a win like yesterday, a 7-run game becomes 7-6. We've seen both Jeremiah Estrada and Adrian Morejon come back to earth here recently. How concerning is that?
You know, what I've seen is both of them also rebound. Because it is concerning, right? But bullpens are always concerning. I saw them both rebound well the last time you said, oh, wow, okay, are they, every time a reliever's been going good and pitching a lot, you're like, oh, is he tired? Oh, is this going to be a bad stretch? And I really do think that especially Adrian Morejon has not had, repeat performances this year. So we'll see, but I had the same thought you did. Okay, here you are, and all you needed to do. Now, who knows? We're talking about young guys too. And one of the tricks for a really good reliever is to never think that he won't be in the game. And I don't know. I didn't talk to either one of them yesterday. It wasn't important on that day. There were other stuff. But what was their mindset yesterday? Where was their focus? There's all sorts of things that at this time of year I go, okay, this was the Rockies. So if I'm going to discount the positives, sometimes I have to ask questions about where were Jeremiah Estrada and Adrian Morejon and anybody else yesterday when they were up 7-0 on the Rockies, getting ready to, get on a plane and go play an important series and knowing that clinching is coming up? You just don't know. And then when you come to the postseason, well, they're going to be locked in. So I really don't know what to read into it.
Michael. Turn your mic on, Jim. Michael King tomorrow. I do that sometimes.
All the time. Every day.
I'm an idiot. Michael King tomorrow. First start, good. He was under, pitch count. Is this now when they're just going to unleash him, or do you think they're still going to maybe have a pitch count limit for him tomorrow?
I think there's something of a limit, but it's going to depend on the stress of the innings. There's still something of a limit for Yu Darvish. Different deal. Yu Darvish's elbow is never going to be right 100%, and he's 39. But I think there's still something of a limit. But if he pitches like he did the other night, the first 5 innings, then that's not a lot of stress. That's efficient King, and go for it. I think. I don't know what that number is, but it's not something that you would say would keep him from having a quality start.
Kevin Ace is our Padres insider. He joins us from New York. How do you think they're lining this up? I mean, obviously it's Pivetta for game 1 when they get to the postseason. Yeah. Presumably with health, it's got to be Michael King for game 2. In a decisive third game, who gets the ball?
Mm-hmm. It's probably Yu Darvish, don't you think? I haven't talked to anybody about it. It's a little early because also I think one of the interesting things is how do they line it up? And when you get down to the end of the season and there's 5 games to go and you're still 2 games back of the Dodgers, and now it's a choice. Let's say it is. I still need to pencil it out. But now it's a choice between lining up your rotation for the wild card series, which you're going to be in regardless, and winning the division. What do you do? I say you line up your pitchers. But rather than go for the division, because what does that really get you? But I think it's Yu Darvish. What do you guys think?
I think Yu Darvish as well, just because I just trust him more in a postseason game over Dylan Cease.
Especially on the road. I don't think you can give the ball to Dylan Cease with your season on the line on the road and then live with the outcome.
No, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That to me, based on his performance this year.
Yeah, a lot of times when we get into these weird splits, where it's what is the explanation for that? I'll be like, But when you're talking postseason and you're also talking Dylan Cease, who clearly, there's something Dylan there's something. I'm trying to be careful how I say it because he's a professional athlete. I'm not. I really respect what they do, but there's something mental happening as well this year, and who knows what it is. And yeah, I'm with you. I am absolutely with you for all those reasons. Now, both of them are prone to 3 really good innings and boom, right?
Yeah.
Like something like that. But it's the postseason, and you've got guys, you're no longer doing the thing that Mike Schilt is excellent about that I know fans don't appreciate, is not wearing out his bullpen for as much as he has to use them. But in the postseason, you got guys hot. You're ready to go, right? And so you pull them right away. So, but it's like both of them give me pause, but I'm going with Darvish at this point.
Yeah, and if Darvish were to hypothetically, he pitches a game 3 and he blows up and he doesn't pitch well, no one's going to be like, oh, they should have gone to Dylan Cease instead. But if Dylan Cease pitches a game 3 and he blows up, then the whole conversation will be, why didn't they go to you, Darvish? So we're in agreement there. Kevin, you mentioned that Fernando Tatis Jr. Talked to his dad recently about hitting, and probably no coincidence that he has played better recently. What does the organization think about that in particular for Tatis having to go to his dad, and seemingly when he goes to his dad, he then performs? What's the thought there from the organization on that whole process?
Whatever works, especially with Tatis. And this was just I gotta be careful here. There's a lot of stuff we talked about yesterday, and for some reason he wanted some of it just to be a conversation. I gotta be careful here, but I think conversation with his dad this time was relax. Mm-hmm. Stop working so hard. Right? And maybe that surprises people that Tatis has been taking 1,000 swings in the cage and stuff. And I think that was the gist of the conversation this time. I'll say that. And so sometimes it's just that. It's his dad, his most trusted, guy. And he played in the major leagues for 10 years, and, that works, right? I think it's a valid question that you have. I've had it as well, and I don't see any resentment whatsoever. Vic Rodriguez is the most humble, deferential man that you'll ever meet. And so I don't think there's any issue there in terms of because it's not like Tatis isn't also working with Vic and Sean O'Sullivan and Mike McCoy, but his dad's his guy, man. And, Luis Suarez has his guy. And so that's, I think it's cool. I do. And I think that it got into Fernando's consciousness this time, and he was a different guy. I mean, we've all seen it where he looks terrible and it goes on for 4 or 5 days. That just doesn't get, whatever, looks terrible. And Friday night. And the way he turned it around was super impressive because those were really good at bats over the weekend.
Kevin, before you go, how do you look at this series? The last time the Padres faced the Mets, the Mets were rolling and then swept in San Diego. This time around, the Mets are really mired in a slump here. They snapped an 8-game losing streak yesterday. These games are so meaningful for both of these teams. What do you make of this 3-game set in New York that begins tomorrow night?
And it's funny, this time of year, you can get into fun conversations with some people in the organization and stuff. And yesterday it was hey, do we want the Mets to win today so that, they got that off their back? Or do we want them to really be, still on a losing streak when we go there? Not that they were saying it matters, but just kind of they're having fun scoreboard watching and doing the kind of stuff that we're doing and that we tend to do more often all year. And then in the final 2 weeks, they're more willing to do it, And so I thought that was interesting. Gosh, I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this Mets team. They've been a streaky team all year. And of course you read and listen to the New York media. They're the worst. They're the best. They got no chance. I honestly have no idea what to make of this series. It's not what I anticipated. I thought it would be this big battle for 5 and 6, and who knows? We could be eating our words. The Mets might sweep them, and suddenly the Padres are trying to stay out of the 6. But the Mets are a good team. I don't know. Do you guys follow them? What's been going on lately? I haven't started to look at them yet. I thought the Mets were a really good team.
They're a team that should be better than they are, I think.
Okay.
They still have firepower in that lineup. I mean, Juan Soto, look at his numbers. It's people aren't really talking about Juan Soto's a 30-30 guy this year. It's what? Came out of nowhere. Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor.
I want to say some of the young
That's
starters
what
have
I look
struggled.
at. See, well,
Yeah.
like because I spend so much time on the Padres, I just see pitchers, and I haven't looked at the lineup. I haven't looked at the rotation. I see their pitchers who have done really well against the Padres, and I see power in their lineup. I go, gosh, what's happening there? So, but I'm excited because it's not the Rockies, and it's
not the
September, and
Rockies.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
That is
Actual
confirmed.
real baseball team.
Kevin, always appreciate it. Enjoy New York. We'll catch up with you Wednesday before Game 2 of the series.
No, take care.
All right, we can react to that on the other side. Plus, we're going to hear from Ken Rosenthal in his own words on an incident this weekend in Milwaukee. Plus, we're going to hear from Colin Cowherd coming up later this hour as well. And we've got tickets to give away to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett next Tuesday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. This is John and Jim. All right, San Diego FC back on the pitch tomorrow night against Club Tijuana. First ever Baja Cup tomorrow at 7. Pregame coverage at 6:30 with the SDFC kickoff show. Adrian Garcia Marquez, Darren Smith, right here on San Diego Sports 760. Your home for SDFC. Maybe I haven't been listening to your updates. You didn't even do updates for a couple of hours. I don't know if SDFC was in there or not. They lost this weekend at home to Minnesota United in this critical showdown between first and second place in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game from SDFC.
No, lose 3-1 and now find themselves just 2 points clear of Minnesota for first place in the West after that.
Yeah, so that was a big match that they did not play well in. They play Atlanta this upcoming weekend, followed by San Jose. Look, there's only 4 games remaining in their regular season before the postseason starts, and you want to get the 1 seed here. So they're going to have to play better down the stretch, and they've been good on the road. So just continue that. Hopefully you get 3 points against Atlanta. Might be wishful thinking, but hey, I mean, the team's won how many games in a row on the road right now? It's like 7. So yeah, it's going to be a tight finish for sure. They're making the postseason because they've already clinched, but as far as the seeding goes, that's kind of up in the air right now.
What's surprising is at Snapdragon Stadium, they've won 1 time in their last 6 matches. So, and they're going to have a lot of home field, you would think, in the postseason. 3 of their last 4 are on the road in the regular season, because now that we're in college football season, they only have 1 remaining home match in Major League Soccer. They have this Tijuana match coming up, but they only have 1 remaining home match in the regular season. Then they're going to hopefully take on a lot of teams at home throughout the postseason. But again, they've been a much better team. I think the statistics would indicate that. The winning streak would indicate that. They've been a better team on the road than they have been this year on home, where they do have 7 wins at home, but they also have 5 draws and they have 4 losses at home. And again, just 1 win in their last 6 home matches at Snapdragon.
It doesn't take away from the fact that their season has been incredible. It's shaping up to be the best expansion season ever from an expansion team in MLS. They're still on the hunt for the Supporters Shield. They are tied for the most goals scored in the league this season. They've won all these games on the road consecutively. Set a record for most wins by an expansion team in a season. It's just an incredible year for STFC.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, at worst, I mean, they're going to be at worst a top 3 seed in the West. They should be higher than that. They could absolutely be the number 1 seed based on their play, which means they're going to have home field in at least a round, if not more than that, should they advance in the MLS postseason. All right, can we finally hear from Ken Rosenthal? We talked about this earlier. So he knocks over a photographer after a celebration in Milwaukee where like Gatorade was poured on a player.
Yeah.
And he stares down this photographer who tumbles over backwards onto their backside.
The head shake of like, I can't believe
I can't believe you were in my
there.
way. And he's staring him down. It was all caught on camera. It was a very bad look. It was all over social media. Tons of reaction to it. So Ken Rosenthal had this to say today. Brent's got this right on the Foul Territory podcast.
I want to talk about what happened Saturday night when I accidentally bowled over Scott Paulus, the Brewers team photographer, while I was getting out of the way of the Brewers dumping water on Andrew Monasterio. Now, the ever-observant AJ Przinsky joked afterward that I looked like Muhammad Ali standing over Sonny Liston. Now, AJ, of course, is more experienced in these kinds of interactions than I am. And I must admit, though, when I looked at the video, when I saw this, I was surprised at how upset I appeared. I was more confused than anything. Now, I had to continue the interview. We were live, folks, on national television. Couldn't stop. And that said, I felt awful about what happened. And afterward, I went up to Scott, who I've worked with in pits before over the years, and I apologized. And I apologized profusely because, let's face it, I don't think that you ever expect knocking someone down is going to happen in any particular situation. So yeah, sure. I apologized, and Fox is doing the American League playoffs this year. So I won't see the Brewers again unless it's the World Series. But if I do see the Brewers in the World Series, I look forward to working with Scott again in the photo pit. And I also look forward to sharing a good laugh with him over this.
Okay.
Oh,
Aw.
well, first of all, so he's not going to work the National League playoffs.
Aw.
We might not see him.
Aw.
Padres got to make the World Series now to see Kenny.
If
That should be the motivation.
exactly, we want Ken Rosenthal in our dugout,
The only way we're going to get it is if we make the World Series.
even though he wouldn't be, because my guess is he would be in the American League dugout because he's followed them throughout the whole postseason.
And because he's scared
That's
and
it.
soft.
And
And
also
you're
the-
not going into the Machado dugout.
No, the Padres are not going to allow it to happen. Like little Ken, no,
Dude,
nope.
Schilt's not allowing that.
Schilt.
What do you think Schilt's doing on his off night in New York? See, is he just eating food and telling you how good it is? He's not going to criticize food, right? He doesn't. Is he going to do a press conference after he has Italian food in New York? Man, that was spectacular.
Like,
Pasta
sir,
was a little-
what would you like with that pasta? Like, I understand the question.
I need a Schilt non-baseball press conference. Seriously, what is he doing on off night, Mike Schilt?
I don't know, John.
Do you think he?
I'm going to text Mike Schilt right now and ask him.
I would, but do you think he like does something? Goes out?
My guess is yeah.
Maybe the theater. Is he on Broadway tonight?
I don't think he's at home, or not at home, but I don't think he's at the hotel watching Monday Night Football.
Bucks. Texans right now.
Goes to a local hotel bar and just like sits there and just watches football on the television, talking to the bartender about bunting.
Small ball.
Small ball.
Now off Broadway, Small Ball, starring Mike Schilt, coming to theaters, coming to Broadway in 2026. I just want to know what he does on an off night.
Okay, well, maybe you can ask him.
If I had the opportunity to interview him, I would.
Well, that's not going to happen because we are not allowed to have interviews from anybody affiliated with the Padres.
Well, I don't know if we're not allowed, but
They just won't give it to us.
It's been a while. It has been a while. All right, coming up on the other side, does Brock Purdy suck? Colin Cowherd
Sure.
in his own words. Jim's back pages ahead. Plus, we're giving away a pair of tickets to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett September 23rd at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Doubleheader tonight for Monday Night Football. Bucks and Texans. We're at half there in Houston. Texans trail the Bucks 14-10. Later tonight, 7 p.m. in Las Vegas. Raiders and Chargers. Padres have an off day today. They start a 3-game series tomorrow against the Mets. It's their final road trip of the season. They're 2.5 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West. Need HVAC this month? Get 0% for 18 months on a new system. Schedule your free proposal at AndersonPHA.com. Anderson, fast, reliable, wow.
So I just had a thought. We'll hear from Colin Cowherd in a moment, but I just had this thought. It dawned on me. Maybe it's the glass half empty way of looking at things.
Yeah, what are you thinking about right now, John?
I'm envisioning a world where in 6 weeks the Padres win the World Series.
Yeah.
Right? Season's over. Amazing year.
A great year.
That's a great year.
That's better than a great year.
You've won the World Series for the first time ever. The caveat is, but you didn't win the Vetter Cup.
That's a good point. It's almost like,
so like, does it really
count?
Does it count?
It's the same thing that happened with Ohio State this year. Like, congratulations, you won the national championship,
but you lost to Michigan.
But you lost to Michigan, so does it really count?
Will anyone ever mention the Vetter Cup
ever again
if the Padres win the World Series? Like, will it come up in any form of conversation? Will anyone ever reference that they lost the season series to the Mariners but won the World Series?
Yes, if they played the Mariners in the World Series.
True. No, and I'd buy that. Like, hey, in the regular season, they met 6 times and the Mariners won 4. Or it might have been 5.
It was so funny not yesterday, but a couple days ago. Maybe it was last week sometime when they, in Chicago, they retired, or Anthony Rizzo retired.
Yes.
So it was Anthony Rizzo Day.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw out the first pitch. He was sitting in the bleachers. He almost caught a home run ball.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment.
He
was
in
in
his hand.
Yeah, in the bleachers, ball comes to him, goes off his hand.
Yeah.
7th inning stretch, he's out in the bleachers with Cindy Crawford and Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder?
I know. I was like,
shouldn't he be in Seattle or something?
Like, what, backstab the Padres and the Mariners here?
Said that, though. He was in Seattle for one of those games. Remember?
Correct. He was on the broadcast, and I was like, it's 8:00. I'm going to bed here, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
It was crazy because that same game when they were all in the bleachers, Ian Happ took a wad of money and wrapped around a baseball and threw it in the crowd before the thing. So he bought the whole area beers because he threw Rizzo the ball with money on it and he bought them all beers.
Did Cindy Crawford buy everybody beers?
Probably.
The next time we have a remote, we should wrap.
Which will be the year 2030.
We should like wrap a John and Jim business card with just like hundreds. Just throw it into the crowd.
What crowd?
To the throngs of people, just race after it.
What throngs of people?
The ones that are remote coming up.
That one remote that
remote we have coming up.
It'll never do.
Okay. Brock Purdy.
Yes, let's get to it.
He missed week 2.
Let's get to it. Give me the call and take.
Jones, we're gonna hear from Colin, but Mac Jones, remember this. Because I mean, this is a better game than Brock Purdy in week 1, is it not? 3 touchdowns, no picks, nearly 300 yards.
Yeah, better game than Brock Purdy in week 1.
Right?
Statistically, yes.
Okay. Well, this is what Colin Cowherd had to say about it.
We said this for years and years about Kyle Shanahan. He made Matt Schaub a Pro Bowler, had a winning record with Brian Hoyer, made Jimmy Garoppolo almost a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he got him there and with a lead against Mahomes in the 4th quarter. And he pulled some magic yesterday with Mac Jones. Mac Jones threw the ball 39 times on the road. Christian McCaffrey only had 12, 13 carries. Like, it was a big ask. And Mac Jones was great. 3 touchdowns, no picks, 280 yards, 113 passer rating. He asked him to throw almost 40 times on the road. There's no George Kittle. There's no Brandon Ayuk. Where do these tight ends come from? That was a big ask. And I'll say this. The good news for San Francisco, they now have 2 quarterbacks that work. One's probably overpaid and one's absolutely underpaid. But this is what Kyle Shanahan does. That's why I always said with Brock Purdy, Brock's better than Mac Jones. I'm not denying that. Is he $265 million better? Because you go on the road with no Kittle, No Brandon Ayuk. I know it's the Saints, but it's an NFL team. You ask him to throw 39 times. Mac Jones has a below average NFL body. He's not a great athlete. He's got an average NFL arm, and that was a big ask, and he was really good. And the rival LA Rams do a very good job of separating performance from circumstance. I don't think the Niners do. I think the Rams do. That's why the Rams will let go to Jared Goff and Todd Gurley or Cooper Kupp or Jalen Ramsey. They know that Sean McVay elevates every B player to an A player or a C player to a B minus player. And so does Shanahan. But sometimes they struggle. San Francisco struggles separating performance from circumstance. And I think a lot of Brock Purdy's success is circumstantial. It's because of Shanahan. And yesterday proves it. I mean, Mac Jones is not, he could be one of the worst NFL athletes at quarterback. He does not have a big arm. 39 throws, 113 passer rating. And that was his best game as a pro. Mac Jones' best game as a pro. So I'm not saying he's Brock Purdy. He's not. But Brock Purdy's dinged up again. And Shanahan's playbook might as well be called quarterback for dummies. It's impossible not to figure out.
Okay, well, he's objectively wrong because, wow, without Brock Purdy or even when Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback, the theory that he's making is, quarterback for dummies. Anybody could do it. Anybody could do it.
Anyone.
Before yesterday, Colin, the 49ers with any quarterback not named Brock Purdy or Jimmy Garoppolo were awful. Look at the numbers. Their quarterbacks were awful. The record without Brock Purdy or Jimmy G, it was like they're like a 25 win percentage, 25% win percentage. It was awful.
Who are these quarterbacks we're referencing right here?
Like CJ Beathard, Mullins.
It's like Trey Lance in here. Did you start?
Trey Lance,
Okay.
Hoyer.
Gotcha.
Name anybody else that was, I don't even know. There's a bunch of other random quarterbacks.
So you're saying the quarterback matters. I mean, which is what everyone says.
Quarterback matters. The problem with Colin is, look, when you're doing a national show like he is, he has to consume a lot of content to break down into like 3-minute takes.
Yeah.
And he can't consume everything at once. So he consumes little here, little there, has, conversations with scouts to tell them what they think. And that's how he forms his opinion. Instead, he doesn't keep up on what's going on with Niners land other than what's happening on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't watch every play of every game. That's why being on the national stage for analysts and, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and the Collins of the world.
It's hard to get it right.
It's so hard to get it right because you can't hyper focus on one thing.
Exactly.
That's why local content to me is way better because we are hyper focused on Padres, Aztecs, and we dabble in NFL, but like we're not acting like we watch every single snap of every single NFL game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have a 4-minute take on how Daniel Jones was used so improperly by the Giants, and what's happening right now in Indianapolis is because of their new ownership.
I mean, we might, but we're like whatever.
I mean, exactly. I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, here's the thing with Colin. That type of take doesn't surprise me, but I think it's too easy to say something like that, especially off one game. To say off one game against the Saints that you spent too much for Brock Purdy because Mac Jones threw 39 times and won on the road. Okay. So you're telling me because that played out, Mac Jones is capable of leading them as far over the course of a full year into a postseason as Brock Purdy, who's already done it? You can't make that leap because in one game, they beat one opponent, by the way, a subpar opponent, which you did recognize. Okay, there's a reason. It's like saying Bryce Johnson can hit a home run. Doesn't make him a home run hitter. Like, you got to do it over 162. Bryce Johnson's not the same caliber of player. I don't know why I'm ripping Bryce Johnson.
Poor Bryce
Anyone
Johnson.
over one game can have a good game. Mac Jones can put together 39 throws, but can he put together 450?
And Mac Jones, he was really bad last year for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
Like, coaching, it matters. So I don't see how it's viewed as a bad thing that Mac Jones yesterday played as well as he did because of the help of Kyle Shanahan and the offense that he runs. And if your take from that game is, well, anybody could do it. Well, you're actually wrong. Nope. And anybody can't do it. It's just that, yesterday, Mac Jones played really well. I don't know.
Was it that big of a surprise? They were a 4-point favorite. They
I knew
won
it was
the
going to
game by
happen.
5.
I knew it was going to happen.
I mean, what happened
The
on
discourse
Sunday
of-
was what
yeah.
was expected to happen.
Right.
That the Niners win on the road.
And that's a big time win for a backup quarterback. That's a huge win for the team.
Yeah.
Huge win.
On the road. Yep.
Yep. And when Brock returns and he comes back, if he has a bad quarter or a bad game,
Going to Mac?
I know what the take of Colin Cowherd's going to be. I can tell you that.
100%.
When he doesn't know anything regarding 49ers stuff, when all he is fed things by scouts and other GMs about the Niners and then uses that as his take.
Tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. to hear Colin Cowherd on the herd.
Oh, and one more thing,
on
too.
San Diego Sports 7.
Because this promo has been running constantly on the station about, that was the best game I've ever seen from Brock Purdy, his first game of the year against the Seahawks this year.
Right.
Did he forget the NFC title comeback win over the Lions or
when they trailed 21-3 at the half?
Yeah, did that not happen?
No, I would say a bigger win was their week 1
on the road against Seattle. I agree. Yeah. Way better win than the NFC title game when they trailed by 30 points.
They trailed 21-3 in the third quarter. All right, Jim's back page on the other side. Stay with us. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we've made it. It's a 5:47
Somehow.
Today here on John and Jim. Of course, back tomorrow at 2 p.m. We'll get you ready for Game 1. Padres Mets critical series at Citi Field. 12 games remain. 12, not 13.
12,
not 11.
12.
They've played 150 times.
12.
They have 12 remaining.
12.
And then from there, we'll see. But they have 12 games remaining. 12 games remaining in the season. We'll get you ready for Game 1 of the road trip. Mets, White Sox, the first of 3 tomorrow in New York. We'll get you ready tomorrow beginning at 2 p.m. And right now, let's get to this.
What day is it, John?
It is September 15th.
What day is it, John?
It's Crumble Cookie Monday.
It is a Crumble Cookie Monday.
Here are the crumble cookies of the week.
Okay.
A cinnamon roll cheesecake.
Can't go wrong.
Are you serious?
I am.
Sign me the F up for that.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Raspberry cupcake cookie.
Okay.
A s'mores skillet cookie featuring Hershey's chocolate.
Skillet.
A chocolate milkshake cookie. A semi-sweet chocolate chunk cookie.
Wow.
And then a secret menu item cookie.
New weekly secret menu.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
You know, there are people on social media, on TikTok, that their entire pages are eating the crumble cookies and reviewing them for the week, like in their cars. And they get
really
like thousands and thousands and thousands of views.
I didn't realize that, but I didn't realize that.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the secret menu varies by location, because if you go to Crumble, you can click on the map. And like if you click on, Del Mar Heights or Claremont or La Mesa, it's going to be different based on the location, the secret menu.
Just give me where.
Like in Del Mar, they've got the cake batter blondie cookie.
Ooh.
Okay, but in La Mesa, they've got the skillet cookie and the s'mores brownie cookie.
Oh.
And then in Claremont, they've got the chocolate covered banana cookie.
Ooh.
And the Nilla bean.
Ah.
Nilla.
Nilla?
Yeah, like vanilla, but like Nilla.
Yeah, like Nilla wafers.
And maybe like that. And then in Poway, they've got pink velvet cake cookie.
I want it all in my mouth.
Yeah.
Pause. Krispy Kreme, John, just keeping on the sweet train here.
Krispy Kreme
is releasing new fall fair donut menu items.
Mm-hmm.
The collection features 4 new creations: a cotton candy donut, an original glazed base topped with blue icing, cotton candy flavored sugar, strawberry swirl, and a cotton candy buttercream dollop. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A cream puff donut, an unglazed ring filled with Krispy Kreme signature cream, dusted in powder coating and finished with a donut dot. A blue ribbon apple pie donut filled with apple cinnamon topped with caramel icing, cinnamon cookie crumbs, and a drizzle of white icing. And a caramel churro donut rolled in cinnamon sugar and finished with a layer of caramel icing. Now, if I asked you to pick to go to Crumble Cookie or to go to Krispy Kreme for the menu items I just read,
Crumble.
Because
I'm more of a cookie, as you know, I'm more of a cookie guy than I would be a donut guy.
I do love me a good donut, though.
I know, most people do.
What I don't like, might be controversial, I don't like cream-filled donuts. Can't do it.
Just move. To move to another country.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna have that strong of a take here,
it's a very strong take.
Go to Antarctica.
I think cream-filled donuts overrated.
Here's my question, real quick. Can you imagine the meetings, like the Crumble people get around the conference table, like, yo, we need something for next week. Like, what are these meetings like to come up with, to constantly have ideas for new cookies or new donuts or new fast food?
It's a good question.
Are they high-level meetings? Would we be involved in those?
And the fact that they're changing weekly.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of work.
Like, they've already started next week's menu items this week right now.
But they're just pretty much just taking pre-existing foods and making a cookie version out of it. So it's like next week we'll have the pecan pie crumble cookie.
That's easier said than done. I mean, you gotta make sure
that was pretty easy. I just made that up myself.
Well, when are we getting into the cinnamon or whatever? What do we do for Halloween?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin
That's what I meant.
spice.
They've already had a bunch
They
of
did that
pumpkin
Okay.
chocolate chip pumpkin donut or cookies on the menu.
Okay. What else you have?
Finally, let me just pull this up here. You didn't play video games as a kid, right?
Well, I did. I played Genesis.
In 1986.
I would have played like Game Boy. My brother had, what was that? The Atari, like some
2600.
Yeah, some Atari.
Did you ever play
Donkey Kong?
Yeah, Donkey Kong.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Yeah, of course. It's like iconic.
The original Donkey Kong in 1986 Nintendo video game.
I have it.
Do you have a sealed copy?
Yeah.
Like, has not been opened?
Yeah, we decided when I was 6 and my brother was 13, like, let's not open it. Let's wait 40 years.
Well, if you waited 40 years, you would have made $370,000 off it.
Damn it. Told him that.
A one-of-a-kind sticker sealed copy of a 1986 Nintendo video game Donkey Kong sold at an auction for $370,880 on Saturday night over the weekend, crushing the previous record sale of $72,000.
Is that not insane? Have you ever played Donkey Kong Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was a good game.
This was graded. The game, the sealed package, was graded a 9.6 A++. I don't know what that means, but that's really good. So they have different grades for like box items instead of, PSA. We deal with a lot of PSA stuff like PSA 9s and 10s. So this is like the best copy ever that's still sealed.
Would you spend that much on that? I wouldn't.
No.
I would just buy the game.
I wouldn't. I would not spend $370,000 on a sealed Donkey Kong Arcade Classic Series Nintendo game.
Did you ever play? Serious question, because you're younger than me. Did you ever play like Nintendo?
Yes. Okay. When I was a kid, my dad had the Nintendo, like the old school Nintendo.
Right. But it was even old school to you at the time, because that would have been.
I actually loved it because he had all the Mario games.
Okay, yeah.
So like old school Mario
cartridges, the
yep,
gray flap that lifted up in the front,
the rectangle.
Yeah. It was a great system. I thought the Genesis, Brent had to play Genesis, right?
Oh yeah, I was a Sega
I thought
guy.
that thing was awesome.
I loved old school Nintendo.
Yeah.
I loved that playing Mario.
Good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
Now we're stuck here with 50,000 things at our fingertips.
No internet.
No, we have internet now. All right. If you missed anything today, I knew it would come up again. SportsST.com, iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. If you're listening to us on podcast, please leave a review as well. We're back tomorrow at 2 p.m. And for Brent and Jim, I'm John. Keep it here. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.